afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. They'll be calling me royalty.
What's going on, folks? The lights are off. The lights are on. Lost at home to the Newcastle 2-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, soon to be the who knows what stadium. And yeah, it is what it is, my mans. It is what it is. But how are you guys in the chat doing tonight? Are you in a good mood or you're in a bad mood? I'm going to say something. Bring that music down just a little bit. If you're Conte out right now, you've lost the plot. That's all I'm saying. You have lost the plot. If you're Conte out. But that's just my opinion. But, Just saying. In the chat, Levy out is correct. Conte out, not correct. But let's see what you guys in the chat have to say. Alexander Hilton, does he say anything else? Is he able to say anything else? I don't think so. I think he's got one thing only to say, and that is steak. The link is pinned to the top of the chat if you want to join the show and have your say. We have a few guests in the back already, but there's plenty of room now. Get on there now while you still can, because when the show gets rolling and the panel fills up, you can't get in there. So make sure that you get in here now if you want to get in. And let me know what you guys think about that. Sorry, I'm typing and talking at the same time. Yeah. Let's see who else we got in the chat. Ready to come on. The assassinators in the house. Y'all who want Conte out are wildin'. Wiling out. I say lost the plot, personally. Levy out every single day. I agree. Big up Brian, the Polio 125. Big up Brian. Big up Polio as well. Good night, Will. Conte out, Daishin. You've lost the plot, my friend. Jaco, 안녕하세요. How you been? And who else we got? Alex Burton, good. Ring-a-ding-ding-dong. What's going on? Ring-a-ding-a-ding-dong. It's the player's fault, silly errors, which is costing Spurs. I agree. Enthaj, what's up? Good up. Hope you're doing well in Minnesota. Doing good. Matt C, who do you think we should sign as a successor for Lloris? Me personally, Joe, I saw that's always been my vote. It's been my vote for a while. I was really upset that we didn't buy him last window. Big up, John Fitzpatrick. How you doing, my man? Who else we got here? At least Dyer's consistent. Maybe consistently crap. Probably, I don't know, but that's a good one here. But let's see who else we got in the chat. Rex Lawrence is in the house. Levy pays them so he can be out. What? Levy pays them so he can't be out. No, but Levy can get out, right? That's the point we're trying to make. Sorry, I'm typing and doing something at the same time. Bill's in the house. What's going on, Bill? Is it the players' fault when we win? Yeah, it is their fault when we win. When they play well, we win. That's how the game works. That's how the game works, my friend. But let's see. Let's bring in the first guest. But before we do so, I'm announcing a little bit of a change. And it's coming up soon. Not yet, but there's going to be a little bit of a shift in the channel. Nothing crazy, but it's a new channel logo coming up. The channel is changing to WillStewart365. 365 days a year. We're going to be doing football, fitness, product reviews. I've got a whole bunch of cool products, shoes, watches, electronics, whatever you like, or whatever I like, rather, is going to be in there. We're going to be doing videos and stuff on that. Still be doing the football and the Tottenham stuff, so make sure you stay subscribed, but it's going to be a more all-around type of a show over here coming soon in the next couple of months. So don't go anywhere because it's only going to get better. Still football content, USMNT, Champions League, all kinds of stuff, plus all kinds of other fun stuff that I personally have an interest in and want to do shows about. So if you dig it, if you like it, stay subscribed. If you don't, you know where to go. Let's bring in the first guest. Hassan is in the house. Big up, Hassan. How you doing tonight? And what are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, personally. But the game did drop my spirits a tad bit. But going to expect that from this team, so not overly disappointed. But look, we were playing okay until Lloris decided to switch teams and play for Newcastle. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. It was on the players today. I can't really blame Conte at all for this game because up until we made those errors, I thought we were okay. I thought we were okay on the ball. I thought we created some chances. I thought both Son and Kane had opportunities to score. But look, the wing backs didn't produce the creativity that we needed 3-5-2 because they're not good enough. The back three looked shaky because they're not good enough. That's not Conte's fault. So yeah, today was on the players, and unfortunately we lost, but we're still in third somehow. I don't know how, but we're still there. So we move. We keep going, I guess.
Yeah, we do. And to be honest with you, I this is going to be maybe a little bit of a weird opinion, but I thought that we had more of the ball in the second half. Maybe not as threatening because the first 5 minutes, Son was breaking out, but I thought we had more possession second half than we did the first half.
Yeah, I think they sat off a little bit in the second half.
Yeah, Newcastle,
they did because trying to defend that 2-1 thing, but. Yeah, I mean, when you don't have the wing backs to cross good balls, and it's difficult to break teams down. I think Perisic did anything when he came on. Neither did Lucas Moura. So it's sort of like Conte tried things. For the first time in a while, he made substitutes really early and didn't really change the game. So yeah, and look, Scott, I'm in the chat's right. We are third until Chelsea plays. Then I think we'll drop to fourth if they win that game. But for time being, we're there. But yeah, it's on the players and the quality of the players, and that reverts back to the guys upstairs not getting the players Conte wanted in the summer. And now we're starting to see. I think it's coming a bad time for us as well. I think with Decky out, Richie out, Romero out, Højbjerg out, then you combine the lack of squad depth, then you combine us playing so much. It's sort of combining together in a really unfortunate time, but we were meant to be prepared for this. We knew we'd be playing 4 competitions, so we meant to be prepared for this. So who's that on is the question we should be asking before people start blaming the guy who got us into Champions League in the first place. And yeah.
I agree. KCW, I don't know who you are. You must have changed your name, or you've become a member recently. And if you have, I appreciate it. But yes, the majority of the content will still be soccer/football. But I only do one show a week now anyway. So if I can supplement that with actual other content, you're free to not watch it. But to be honest with you, the only way this channel works is if I enjoy doing it. And the way I enjoy doing it is by doing the things that I enjoy. And there's 3 things that I like to do in this world. And that's talk about football right now and work out. And number 3 is buy crap. So why not do all 3 things on my channel? And like I said, my channel. So if you like it or you don't. But like I said, the majority, 365 are the things that I have interested in all the time, right? Things I talk about and do, my interests. Those are the only 3 interests that I have. That's what I'm going to be doing. And that's it is what it is. And like a lot of the other stuff is going to be more review related, right? For example, say you need a monitor to do live streams or videos or whatever. You want to know what's a good one. We're going to be talking about stuff like that. Yeah. So it is what it is, man. And I go through phases. And so for me to not go through phases with this channel and be able to do more content, we're just going to add those phases in here as well. So otherwise, I'd have to start like 5 different new channels. And you know how much work that is? Not worth it. That's how much work that is. So it is what it is. Oh, Ben KC, what's going on, man? See, you changed your name. See? You changed your name. So if you can change your name, I can change mine too. Can't create another channel for those 2, man. It's too much content. Too much work. Too much work, bro. Too much work. So is what it is, right? I don't have time to sit there and run and manage content for 5 channels. It's hard enough doing 1. So it is what that is. But let's bring in the next guest. Everybody here knows him and loves him. He comes from Canada. He always does finger push-ups before he leaves the show. You know him, you love him. Brian Daigle's in the house.
What's up, people? How are we doing?
Good.
Amazing.
Good. So, obviously, everyone knows where my aggression and anger and toxicity is going to mainly be at tonight. But you know what? I was calming myself down after the game, and then I realised something, which just goes to show what this chairman thinks of this of our club. Do you know what date it is today, or what today is? It is the anniversary of Sir Bill Nicholson's passing.
Did not know that.
It is the anniversary of it. The reason we are where we are and with the club that we are is the club that he built. There was not a single thing in the programme. There was not a single thing said at the stadium. It just went poof, as if we don't even remember. Because it doesn't matter. That reminds you of the fabric, of the glory, of the great times, of the good times, of the trophies, of what this club stands for. The guy's ashes with his wife is underneath that football pitch. Yet once again, let's not talk about the past, because the game is about glory. Let's forget that the reason we are where we are is because what he started. All like the people on the camera right now were too young to witness it, but we damn well sure know about it. But once again, this man will eradicate anything that's not pre-him, that's pre-him. Any tinge of glory, any things of success, forget it. I am furious. I am heartbroken that the club can do this. It just goes to show what piece of crap run this football club. And it doesn't matter about the football. It matters about you remember Shane McMahon when he comes into Here comes the money. Here comes the money. That's all Daniel Levy is. And I've now gone up levels to where I have been previously. And I cannot wait to get back till November, because you will be seeing me a lot in certain places causing chaos, because this is just unacceptable. Unacceptable. As is the performances, as was the summer spending, as was 22 years, 15 of them being dreadful. I am raging. I am absolutely goddamn raging with this. How dare they? How dare they as a club? How dare they do that? I'm going to stop now.
Oh, no, I mean, it kind of goes along with this whole thing about, no trophies, no, you know, I mean, that's,
One trophy in 22 years.
well, I mean, no statues, sorry, is what I was trying to say. Like, he doesn't, for whatever reason, he doesn't have any interest in doing that, which I think it's silly. But we do have the next guest to come on. Everybody in the chat, show your love for the man from Orlando. Maybe he's off the Percocets this time. Everybody in the comments, show him your love. Mari's in the house. What's up, Mari?
What's up, my brother? Oh, man. Today was a tough watch. And yes, I was off prescription, so I had to watch it. Painful. Weird game, because like everybody else today, kind of felt that we were going to win, especially, we had some good chances. And I was like, ugh. But, all right, we're eventually going to pull it out. But Lloris's mistake was huge. I would say the one thing that no one has not said, which also got me angry, not that, Lloris, he knows better. He has to clear that ball. He has to get to the ball. But if you notice, Eric Dyer's reaction, he puts his hands out wide to complain about the foul in play. A smart center back continues to play like Wilson continues to play, runs back, and tries to head that ball from head out from coming in.
Yeah.
But if you watch the replay, Dyer doesn't do that, which explains our team. Conte has been saying that we need to learn how to win. We need warriors. Yes, you may think it's a foul, you may think it's bad, but continue to stick and play because everybody else is. But Dyer, who wants to be pseudo captain, scream, yeah, he's not even moving when Callum Wilson shoots that. He's not running back to clear that ball. If he runs back, he has a good chance of clearing that ball out. I know he's not, he's not that athletic, but at least make that attempt. And that's the one thing I've seen it 3 times. I'm like, why is Dyer not making that attempt? And so we go down 2-0 with, Lloris got skinned, Langley, it's not his strength. And, we try to come back, but too little too late. And it's, watching the other streams and great stream by what's his name? Oh, gosh, I can forget his name. I was just finished watching it for 3 or 4 hours. But I will say this. I said this a couple of weeks ago. We got to get used to it. There's going to be some ugly wins. There's going to be some ugly loss. It's going to be that way. I still think we're going to make top 4, but it's going to be against the really good teams. We'll probably not get some points, and then against the teams that we have to beat, we're just going to have to beat. And it is what it is, unless something happens in January, so the rumor Bastoni coming in, I laugh at that. That's not happening in June. Definitely in January.
Barcelona in January. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, that was comedic, but I mean, I'm just in that meh mode, you know. Think
Meh.
of what it is. We play. Yeah, meh.
Yeah. Take
I'm
time
in
to
the meh
adjust.
mood too. But let's see if this
yourself.
guy's in the meh mood. He was so mad today, or I guess it would have been yesterday for him with the loss against Newcastle United. He was punching koala bears in the face for fun. Shane B. What's going on,
Hey,
man?
Will, Brian, Hassan, Murray.
What's up, Shane, brother?
What are your thoughts on the game so far? Well, from
What
yesterday for you.
Utter dog shite. It
That
was. We overrun in midfield. We have three in the midfield, and they can't defend. They can't attack. It was just. And Lloris, he's got to be benched. He's got to be benched. Bring in Fraser.
You think?
Yeah,
I'm with him.
at least for a
Completely
game
agree,
or
Shane.
two.
Completely
Why
agree.
not? Why not? We got Bournemouth next. Give him a go.
Well,
Bournemouth,
maybe
maybe. Not
Maybe against
Sporting, though.
Sporting. Oh no, I would. I would.
Really?
Yeah.
In the Champions League at home.
Yep.
Bring in Forrester.
Yep, he's
He
done it.
Foster's
for- he's
played
done
in
it
the
for Celtic.
Champions League for Celtic. Yeah.
He's done
Yeah,
it.
but he's
Listen,
the captain.
mate, but the guy, he shouldn't be captain either. He shouldn't be
No.
captain. I'm one of those people, like a lot of people, that believe goalies shouldn't be captained. They just shouldn't. It's just,
Yeah.
listen, you've got to remember, the way football is played is, and you hear the managers say it, when you get your opportunity, that's your shirt, and it's your shirt to lose it. And when you lose it, whether it be injury, suspension, loss, or form, someone will come in and take it. Lloris, yes, he had a good. Listen, people are waxing lyrical about his game against United. It's his job to save goals. When Harry Kane or Son doesn't score goals, and we go, oh yeah, but he almost did. So we go, oh, that's all right, you almost did it. You just crack on. No, his distribution is fucking shocking. My 3-year-old niece has got better distribution. We bought him as a sweeper keeper, and he was the best of the best. That first goal, anyone saying that was a foul is a joke, because it was like fall over. His distribution and his play is, and his playing out from the back and heaping pressure on. He needs to understand that just because you've been the number one for so long doesn't mean you have a divine right to play when you're fit.
Just bloody boot the ball upfield. Get
Exactly,
it out
brother.
there.
Exactly.
Get it up. Bypass
do
the
you-
bloody center field and get it up to the bloody Kane and Son.
Do you think it too that, like, and this is a thing that I've seen last couple of games this season specifically with our players, especially our back line, that they don't play to the whistle? Because now, granted, yes, Lloris made a blunder, right? But when he would put his arm, when he fell to the ground and put his arms up, the back line stopped moving too, and he had to go. He had to drop back 5-10 yards to pick up that ball that bounced off Lloris. So it's not like it just dropped right in front of him. He had to actually run backwards, go get it and pick it up. And there was nobody. Dyer didn't make a move for it. Nobody did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I noticed. I'm like, Dyer didn't play the whistle.
Dyer stood there with his hands in the air
Yeah,
rather
he
than
stood at the
actually
penalty
play the
line.
game.
He's done that
The
before.
penalty spot.
He's
put
done
his
that
hand up,
before in the past. He doesn't play
He
to
always does it.
Yeah, but you're taught to play to the whistle. You know, every coach says that. Well, you got your coach.
Oh yeah, here in the U.S. anyway. I don't know about the UK. But you play
Yeah.
to the whistle always, right? You
always
never.
play the whistle. Same thing in the game of football. You play to the whistle. You you could complain after during the dead period, but you always play to the whistle. And I was just incensed that Dyer in that play did not play the whistle, which honestly he could have had a good chance to. Like I said, I've seen a lot of center backs who are smart. They knock it out. They head it out.
Yeah.
You know, their goalie is out of position. You know, no matter what happens in front, but Dyer was already wanting to go up to the ref and present. If I'm Conte, I'm chewing out Dyer and like, bro, I understand Lloris messed up, but dude, play to the whistle. You could have a chance to possibly hit that ball out and it's still 0-0. You know?
100%.
Come here, man.
Don't get me started on Chicken Royale. He was just
About the sad thing was I don't think he was our worst player. I don't think he was our worst player on the pitch.
He wasn't.
in
I'm
that
with the
game.
side.
Before we get too far in, I do got to bring in some more guests. We got about 4 or 5 guys sitting in the back. You know we love them from Tottenham away. The coach to tell us whether or not they teach you to play to the whistle. Stelios in the house. Big up Stelios.
big up, Stel.
Stelios.
So are you supposed to play to the whistle, Stel? Or knock over your microphone?
Every single year. Do you know, big up to Shane, big up to Mari, big up to Hassan, big up to Brian Daigle, big up to Will, big up to everyone in the comments. I'm just, you know, I'm not in panic mode because we're still in the top 4. If we beat all the teams that aren't top 6 and we just lose to the top 6, we will get top 4. But I'm just getting angry. So like, and I can't say what I want to say for reasons out of my control nowadays, but I'm just fed up of our fans, man. Our fans, like, and shows, and I get fans are upset about Conte and the style, and they're fed up with the system. And you all wanted 3-5-2. We played against Man United and Newcastle. We lost both games. So what? Does that mean that our fans have got no clue about tactics and formations, or they just want to moan? We changed the players tonight. Skip played, Longley played. It was a disaster. Okay? And the reality is this. I saw this under Nuno. I saw this under Ryan Mason. I saw this under Jose Mourinho. I saw this under Pochettino. I saw this under AVB. I saw this at the end of Harry Redknapp's reign. It cannot be the managers every single time. There has to be once, just once, where we say, who the fuck is running this? Who is running this? When we want to wake up and properly fix that, then we can talk about what's going on the pitch. But if you think Antonio Conte came to Tottenham and he said, yo, give me Dyer, give me Doherty, give me Cess, give me Emerson, give me no midfielders to bring on the pitch because they're all on the pitch, and can I have Brian Hill and Mora to come on in case it's not working for Son and Kane? Give me that, and I can win you the league.
But still, I have a question. I have a question for you then. Why
go for it.
Has he said he's happy? Why has he decided, you know, I'll stick around for this season if in the summer we didn't address any of those issues that you just mentioned there?
Because he's been levied.
Hassan, honestly, I have no idea. I'm when it comes to a question like that, I'm a fan like you. I have no idea. All I will say is this. Maybe there is a bigger plan, and maybe we're going through the motions, and he's just you know, he's staying on board. But if he is going through the motions and he is staying on board, I heard Mourinho say that. I heard Poch say that. Listen, Brian Daigle, we've been through this deja vu 22 years. Are we not seeing what we've seen many times again, which is why we're so Levy out, Enoch? This is why I'm Enoch out. This is why I'm Levy out. This is why.
Hassan, I'm just going to read something that I posted on Henry Wright's show. Okay, so let me try and find where it is. Where is it that I posted it? I sent it to Stella. Let me just try and find this. Basically, what it was saying is under Poch and parts of Nuno, Mourinho, we played 4-2-3-1. Under Nuno, we played a different formation. Under Conte, it's 3-4-3 and 3-5-2.
Yeah.
So the formations have changed. Everything's changed.
Yep.
What hasn't changed?
The results.
The result?
Players being crap.
And as I say, and I'm saying it on every show I go to now, and I've said it, and do you know what? The amount of comments that don't even read what I say or listen to what I say when I go on We Are Tottenham TV, and I've said this for a long time. Once the players cross the white line, the result and the performance has absolutely nothing to do with Daniel Levy. However, the fact they are allowed to cross the white line, the fact that they are allowed to put on that beloved white and famous white shirt, the reason they are allowed to make performances and churn out results like this has everything to do with him. Everything.
Yeah.
And this, it's a big issue. And like Stel said, I've known Stel for over 30 years. 15 years now, because Joel was sacked over 15 years ago, so it's now gone to 15 years. Stel and I have been preaching this via Facebook chats and Facebook pages and whatever, and everything. And a lot of it, and people will know me and stuff from when we've been on YouTube. A lot of the stuff we've said, apart from Antonio Conte's not coming to Spurs and I get a tattoo, and we're not getting top 4 and I get a tattoo, everything else, bang on the money. Bang on the money. And here we go again, and still people point the blame somewhere else. And
I agree.
It's just, I think it's, you know what, I think because people are so, I'm actually starting to think that there are so many people that actually want to say Levy out, but because they think we're all toxic and negative and we have this bad reputation when we don't go around causing any shit, any violence or anything, they don't want to say it because then they get affiliated with the toxic and negative ones. When we're not toxic or negative, we just tell the truth.
It's true, but gotta bring him in. New song for him tonight. His own song. He's finally graduated to get his own intro. The title of this piece is called Winning Steak. Winning Steak. It's a steak.
Levy out, the bull twat.
There you go, Alex. Why don't you have Tourette's and say that all the time? That's what you have to say.
The performance was absolutely shocking. Like, what else? It's like we're going to be we'll be seeing the same shit like over and over again, unless something changes.
We lost one in the back room, so we do have room for more people in the back. If anybody wants to join the show, the link is pinned to the top. We had a full house in the back, but 2 people dropped out, and they may try to join back in. But let's bring in the last one that we've got back there for now. I need to find a song for him as well, but we'll work on that next time. So for right now, we will play. We're going to play this one just because. Gotta break him of the English accent, have it. Get him back in here with that old American accent. Gotta get back up in here with that one. Come on, Dan.
James Ward-Prowse would have saved us.
How you doing tonight, Dan?
Yo, Dan.
I'm doing absolutely terribly.
You doing all right, Dan?
No, I'm doing terrible.
Dan
Flewers.
Dan Flewers, good evening.
Big up everyone. Honestly,
You have made viewers proud.
Did you go on his show today? I didn't watch him.
Yeah, I did.
What did he have to say? Did he dog and dish you?
Yeah. they were trying to get me to change teams. No, but honestly, I completely agree with what you're saying, Maury. That was actually my first reaction to the goal. I was more pissed off at Eric Dyer than Hugo Lloris. The guy was looking at him. And I don't know if he's admiring Joe Linton's haircut or his new boots. I don't know what it is. It's obvious. It's obvious that he's just gonna chip it over Lloris. I mean, that's common sense. You should race to the goal line to block it. Davison Sanchez was at the halfway line, and he got there before Eric Dyer.
Dan, I said it on We Are Tottenham TV. If you look, I'm sure rather than running to the back line, Eric Dyer was actually trying to do YMCA. So that's what he was doing. He was like that, and I'm sure he was trying to get the Y. It beggars belief. But it doesn't matter because other big teams, players get 8 years to try and find their form and don't get sold or don't get said, listen, we need to get better than you. We'll just wait 8 years in the hope that you may have one good season every 3. But that's all good. We'll give you a new contract. We'll do that.
I'm gonna quote Antonio Conte here.
This is the Dan THFC song from now on.
Honestly, if I was Conte, I would go to Dyer. You know what? You're not starting for the game. just for the very fact you did that, I'll start Sanchez over you. I mean, that's how livid I am by him doing that, because you have to play to the whistle. You have to. Yes, you can dispute the call, but there's a time and place to do that. You got to play to the whistle. You got to run back and at least go back and at least head that ball out, or try to at least. You know,
with the whistle, I think it's just a weak mentality. Like
that's the main problem in this team, though. That is literally the main problem in this team. Is the mentality.
On the Henry show, they said it exactly.
Sorry, I got to interrupt you, but from all the way up in Canada, the most delusional Harry Kane fan ever, Dietrich Kane.
My boy Dietrich.
Dietrich's in.
How are you guys?
What up, Dietrich?
You're doing good.
Can I just pull up on something Dan and Mari just said? Okay. You
it's my
especially but you interrupted Dan, right? So I'm going to interrupt you. And Dan said that this team has a weak mentality. So Dan, if this team has got a weak mentality, what happened to the mentality of the team under Poch, Nuno, AVB, Mourinho, Mason, Jerry Francis, Harry Redknapp? Is it a team mentality or a club mentality? That's the question.
Club mentality. Club mentality.
Club.
Okay.
Starts with Levy.
Of course.
Starts at the top. Club.
I have to say, where the hell is my music gone? You need to find my Levy and bring it back, mate.
Oh, the voice. I can do that. But as Dietrich comes in, you know who follows. Not following in like less than, but following into chasing to make sure that he is countered at every corner. Chasing down.
CQ, isn't it?
Well, Dietrich's. CQ is in the house to make it a 4-4-2.
Toxic.
Rain cloud.
Steak.
Can you say I see dead people?
Why?
In the whisper.
I see dead people.
Dan's like, what are you talking about? I see dead people. I don't know what that movie's from.
I don't know. Why not?
Do you know what? We are paying the price. We are paying the absolute price for not doing the rebuild under Poch. That one single decision by Daniel Levy, that one decision to not do it, we are paying the price. This is the price.
Under Harry.
I disagree.
Under Harry.
I disagree.
Under Redknapp with Tevez and Cahill when we're second in the league.
Listen, but that's the thing is that I just want to talk on Poch now. I understand that he made that mistake, but Spurs fans using an excuse to say, "Oh, Conte out and Poch in." That's living in the past. It's literally the definition of.
No, I'm not saying Poch in, Dan. I'm saying we're paying
I'm not saying that you are. I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying
doing a rebuild when we had a good team. When we had a good team, we should have rebuilt.
Even the rebuild, man, it's stupid. You don't even need a rebuild. You can just buy better players. It's not like you have to sell them.
That's what a rebuild is.
No. I mean like a rebuild. Like you have to sell the whole squad. We could have when Vertonghen and Toby were getting older. You could have just sent them to the bench and get new players.
There's only 7 or 8 players out of the 24 that we should keep. I'm telling you, there's only 7 or 8 I would keep.
Yeah, but
that's a rebuild. We need 16 new players again. Another season, we need 16. Every year, we need 16 players. We go and buy 9. We buy 9 for Conte. We still need 16.
Okay,
we buy 12 from Mourinho. We still need 16.
Okay, let me ask you because my definition of
every year. How many do you need? 16. How many players do you need? 16.
No. I think we just need Dan's Nan. That's all we need.
I just also, by the way, that is not me. That account is not me.
It better not be is what it's saying in chats. It better not be you, Daniel.
No, honestly, it's not me. It's not me. It's not me. I promise.
When Conte gets sacked and the new manager comes in, whoever he is, Levy's going to say, right, what do you need? He's going to say, I need 16 players.
I thought you were going to say he needs Dan's nad.
I'm going to bring in the last guest, and then I'm going to
say, be patient. We'll do it over time.
I'm going to bring in the next guest, and then I'm going to take a little break and listen to you guys rant and ravel. I called in backup to help teach Dan how to speak like an American. Kieran from Spurs After Dark is in the house. As soon as I pull myself out, the music's going to stop, and he'll be here.
Dan's man and steak at the back. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Kieran.
Hello, guys.
Hi,
hello.
Big up, Kieran. Big up, Kieran.
Steak.
Oh, is it my 5 minutes of fame? Do I get to?
Yeah, you can talk.
If you
I am in the back, just so you know. So behave yourself.
If you're
taking me out,
if you're saying Conte out, you're an absolute idiot, and
Because I can.
shut the hell up and never talk about football ever again. So,
steak.
I just wanted to say, actually, since we got the man himself here, Stell, you and Will as well, on the Spurs Corner today with Lee Gunner, Henry. That was excellent.
Perfect.
So much truth was spoken in those 2 to 3 hours of YouTube content. It was amazing, and I really hope that Spurs fans who constantly rail against people who tell the truth about the ownership, about transfer policy, about some of the players we have at this club. I really hope some of those Spurs fans, when they saw Lee Gunner, an Arsenal fan, just go point by point, naming everything that's wrong with us.
Exactly.
Hopefully that hit them a little bit, because they can't take it hearing it from other Spurs fans. You're toxic, you're negative, blah, 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 whatever. Maybe it took an Arsenal fan, Arsenal, that club down the road that has all the trophies that we don't have. Maybe it took it from one of them for them to understand that's the difference. That's how big the gap is.
Yep.
Kieran, now an Arsenal fan has said it, they'll dig their heels in even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do they have the stakes though? That's the question.
The same guy that Joe Lewis employs a guy to hold his cell phone at a restaurant here in Orlando. The same guy, right? He owns a couple of football shops. He's a Liverpool supporter. He said the same exact thing that Lee said in regards to Spurs, right? Whenever I go to his shop and look at kits, we talk about the same thing. He knows as an outsider the same exact thing that Lee said today, which was on point. My own fan base doesn't want to because of that. Like I said, that fear. What if we go back to the 90s? What if that has really crippled the culture of this club? That same fear, that same mentality that we talked about a few minutes ago. That's where it stems from, and so it was refreshing hearing from Lee. I know one or two people were like, "Oh, it's coming from a gunner," but it was the truth. It was the truth, not only about Arsenal and Tottenham, but even about the game. I mean, the only thing that was missing, I wish he had more time, is market share, because I would have loved to be in that conversation to talk about market share and why the people at top, they don't really care about the fans unless you protest, unless you cause a ruckus. It was great to hear Lee mention that. Yeah. And I think about the NSL, the Super League, and how many people that showed up, right? Chelsea, Arsenal turned up, Liverpool turned up, United turned up. But in our fan base,
United got a game canceled. They stopped a game, and not just any game, but Man United Liverpool. The biggest rivalry in the country that everybody jerks off about. They stopped that game, a game that mattered to them. That's how much they care about their club.
But we did do a protest about Newcastle having Arabonas, though. I just want to make sure everyone knows.
pamphlets
protest about that.
and pamphlets out. Yeah,
We have protests about other clubs though. We do protest about other clubs.
Oh yeah, I know a content creator who will protest anything that's discriminated whatsoever. But during this, but when that Super League came out, right? They said a word about protest, didn't promote it or anything about that. Our fan base is weak. It's weak. Yeah. It's the truth.
Spursy.
Mentally, they're
Spursy
weak.
is what it is.
Weak.
The fact that Conte out and Poch in on Twitter is trending. I know that Twitter's a crazy place, but come on. I count with this fan base. When are they going to realize how many managers are going to take? How many managers is it going to take to realize that it's not the managers and it's the players? I'm going to quote Conte here, saying, "Same players, different managers."
Yeah, that's Jose.
That's a quote. No, that's a quote that Conte said.
Conte said it too.
Has Conte come out and said it now?
He said it last season. He said it last season when we lost to Burnley. He said that exact same thing when we lost to Burnley last season. Same players, different managers.
And just to be clear, it's not even like this is something that people are saying right now after that really shitty game. People have been saying it for a while. Like all season, they've been saying Conte out, Poch in. Like this has been something that's been going on, and it wasn't even that like bad yet. And then people were already jumping into that.
CQ, it started when Poch got sacked. There's a certain section of the fan base that keeps living in the damn past.
Yeah.
Actually, it was it was before. It was before Poch got sacked. It was when there were rumors that he was gonna get sacked.
Yeah,
that's how early it started.
That's when it
was just so ridiculous.
There's even fans that want Dele Alli back. Like that section of that this fan base is the reason why we haven't won a trophy since 2008.
I don't know if anybody watches South Park, but South Park has like this one skit they've done about member berries, it's all about nostalgia, right? It's about how you can be distracted by the here and now and what's happening, and how much somebody can get one over on you by just distracting you with nostalgia. And how nostalgia can be a trap. It can be a trap that stops you from growing, from progressing, from succeeding. And that's clearly what's happening with Tottenham fans, because it's one of two things. It's either the nostalgia or, like Mari said, it's the fear. And that's what Spursy is to me, is fear. And you see it on the pitch. You see it in the transfer window. It's constant fear. We can't go back to the 90s. Oh, what if we get put in administration? Oh, what if the debt? What are you talking? I mean, anybody who understands how football finance works now, the top six, the big six teams will never get relegated. They will never get relegated, Tottenham included. Tottenham will never get relegated. There is too much money. There's just too much money in it. If we ever had a season that was that bad, you bet the checkbook would come out that January. You bet, because there's too much money there, and we have to stay up. We have to stay up. We don't
spend the money wisely. Yeah, we may have the money, but we don't spend it wisely.
Yeah,
we spend it on shit.
Of course, that's the problem. I'm just trying to identify how some of these fears that the fan base has, like Mari was talking about, fears of relegation, fears of being at the bottom, dwelling in the bottom third of the table, fears of going back to what Tottenham will never be what it used to be. There's too much money. The club is worth £4 billion. The stadium, everything, the brand, the marketing, Sun alone, just the marketing and merchandise from Sun alone, take away everything else, is too much for a club to ever go back to that level of mediocrity.
Kieran's right.
We're never going to drop below mid. Is the absolute lowest we could ever finish.
Yeah, but there's one thing, Kieran, you said. Everything else I agree with.
The fear is made up.
I agree with 99.9% of what you just said. The only thing I don't agree with is we're not worth $4 billion. That's what Levy and Enoch have put the club up and said $4 billion is the number. Chelsea got done for $2 billion, and Chelsea have may not have had a better squad than us, but they've got trophy after trophy after trophy after trophy after trophy.
You also have to consider their stadium is an absolute dump.
Yeah, we're not 4 billion. We're not 4 billion.
We're probably not 4 billion. I agree. We're probably
chucking all the properties and skywalks and all the offices and all the fancy property we own. You're probably looking at the football club is not worth £4 billion.
Yeah,
that's the number that's been put up there. Like when we said we won 150 million for Harry Kane, and they weren't going to sell until we got it. No one's going to come in and bid 4 million because the club's not worth 4 billion.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I don't agree with what you said. That's the only thing. Everything else you said is bang on the money.
And then of course, you know, the Levy thing. The one response you always get as well is who's going to come in after. I mean, nobody who's going to spend, you know, let's just say 2 to 3 billion pounds on a football club is going to come in and do worse than what Levy has. Now, if you want to talk about moral questions, will they be an oligarch or, you know, blood money, whatever you want to talk about? Yeah, I mean, they probably will be because those are the only people who can afford to buy a football club for $3 billion. But I mean, if you're talking about elite sport at the top level, I mean, we can tell you about it in America too. The whole moral thing over who owns your team, that has to go out the window if you're going to continue to support a team that's at the top level of elite sport, because it's going to be very soon that there are going to be no owners left that you can even argue how ethical they may be. You know, it's only a matter of time. So that's ridiculous. And it's all just excuses. It's excuses based off irrational fear, is what I'm saying. And it's all throughout the fan base.
I urge everybody to do what I'm doing and just send an email to Elon Musk every day. Like every day, send him one email to Elon Musk.
Mistake.
I thought you were going to say send a message to Levy, but I'm actually blocked. I can't send him any more emails.
Make a new account.
You know
what's the serious? Are you serious, Daigle?
Cubes, I'll send you some info. Basically,
oh my God.
When I was still part of Tottenham Away and I did my Daigle rants whenever I went on, after the Super League, I tried to, and it said, here's his email, daniellevy@tottenhamhotspur.com or daniel.levy. I tried to send him a video, but every time I sent him a video, it was way too long. I tried to get it down to a minute or whatever, and then I realised, wait a minute, why am I wasting my time doing a video? And then I literally sent him an email. I'll send you some in a minute via direct message. And these emails weren't written very nicely. Every time that the title started with like stuff like "Dear Daniel, I lie when my lips move, Levy." That was, and I changed. I gave him a little middle thing, and I was not nice, but I sent him a link to every single show that I went on and ranted big time about him. And about after the 6th or 7th, I sent him another one. And it bounced back and said you can no longer send emails or whatever the thing was. And Cube, check your Twitter in a few seconds. You'll see.
Brian, did you hit the like button?
No, you Daigle, you were mean to Levy. You sent mean messages to. No,
I've said this
I
before.
can't believe that. Not even a little bit. Totally far-fetched.
I've said this before. I'm so misunderstood. Cubes, I'm so misunderstood.
To take it away from the Levy thing just a little bit, because it is kind of we all at least on this panel are pretty much in agreement, and it'll just become rehashing old stuff. The other thing,
that's what Spurs fans do best, man. Rehashing old shit. That's literally what.
The other thing that's obviously the big problem is around the Conte out stuff is the style of football conversation, and I just have to say, if you believe that we can play attacking football with this defense, you know nothing about the sport. You know nothing about it. I'm sorry. We cannot play a high line with these defenders. Longley, slow. Davis, slow. Dyer, slow. All three of them, slow. Sanchez, can't track a ball in the air. All of these guys, the best way to get at these defenders is to get in behind the pace. So playing a high line is out of the question. It's absolutely out of the question. Even Romero, who has the physicality and the pace to get back and he is an aggressive
area
defender
leads
who's going
crap.
to step out of line, step forward every time. That leaves dog legs. That leaves spaces that players can get in behind. We don't have the defenders to play it. We don't have a Van Dijk. We don't have a Ruben Diaz. We don't have a class defender that can play in a system like that. Then not only that, we hear about bring Poch back. Well, how the hell do you think Poch is supposed to play and be better with these players?
Can someone mute their mic?
We can't play out of the back.
I think it's mine.
We can't play out of the back as it is, and it's a huge detriment to our play style is the fact that we fail to play out of the back because all of our attacks start from the back. Well, you want to bring Poch in. What does Poch do? He plays out of the back. So it wouldn't be any different than it is now. And as far as us sitting back and camping in front of our own, people say we sit too deep. Look at the post-game interviews from the Arsenal game. They asked Eric Dyer, was it the tactic for you to sit so deep? He said no. Also, ask any match-going Spurs fan who's close enough to the bench to see Conte, and they will tell you, every match, he is screaming at them, go forward, pass forward. He does not want them sitting back.
Kieran. I was up in Manchester. We went to that awful away game on Wednesday night, and there was this one moment where Perisic got the ball, and the space opened up in front of him. He had about 40 meters in front of him, and he passes sideways. And as soon as he got the ball, Conte points up the line. He's like, that way. And we went sideways. I looked at Conte, and he went fucking nuts. He started going ballistic. And I thought, do you know what? We are so fucked because Perisic is your boy. And if your boy isn't going to do these things, why the fuck are these guys going to do it, man? And I just sat there for the next, I don't know how long was left, 40 minutes of the game, just like this.
No, Perisic has been point blank underwhelming. Okay, like these players, whether they are ones that we were all excited about, the ones that we were excited about, even they have not been delivering to the standard that we need and we want. I feel like
Zuma's been a flop.
It's like, honestly, they've been flopped. They're not. There's nobody.
Point, though.
Hold on,
it's
no,
not
literally.
The tactics or instructions. It's the players.
It's literally they are not. They are not able to click. Like they are literally not clicking, and they are not stepping up. They're either the shittiest players that are just never going to be good, and they're like Dyer or Emerson, or they're the best players that we have, like Kane and Son, who are not stepping up to the plate when they need to. Like it's just fucking shite. All of the players. I don't understand why
so
that they are not. I don't understand why. Yes. Okay, I'm really pissed. Like basically, all of our players. It's all of them. If you look at Conte, he's on the side yelling at them. He's yelling them to get forward. He is yelling at them to pass the ball. He is yelling at them constantly, and everybody's trying to blame Conte, but it's not. It's like our players are they're not stepping up. I don't know what the fuck their problem is, but they're not stepping up. And I'm just like, what the hell? It's like they get on the pitch and it's like they just get scared. Like they can't they get scared. They're nervous on the ball. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're either scared like Dyer is. He fucking is scared, or Lloris is scared every time he touches the ball, or they're like Emerson and he's like there for like a game of Sunday football with his mates. Like, what the fuck, man? It's just like every single time I want to move forward. I don't want to talk about the transfer window. I want to look at January transfer window. I don't want to talk about summer transfer window anymore. I want to move forward. I want to move forward. And you can't. You can't because you're constantly.
I love your
This goes back to when Paratici got the job. And fans called him Don Paratici. Right? Fans called this guy Don Paratici. So anything he touched now was gold. But guess what? Emerson, from day one, I said he's shit. And every show I go on, he's shit. And what do I hear? Give him a chance. He's young. He'll come good. God. I say Eric Dyer's shit. I said Eric Dyer's shit for years. What do I hear? No. Virgil van Dyer. I said Doherty's shit. I've been saying that forever. What do I hear? No. He's Docatino. He's Docatino. Our fans, they're just deluded, man. We're deluded fan base.
Now, you stole a bit of my thunder because I have to go. Got a big day.
Take it.
But I was gonna say this one thing, and I can't say it now because you just said his name. The one person that we're forgetting, right? And I agree with Cube. We can't go back. So look at the future, and we look at January. This World Cup window is going to be telling, not only because Conte is going to be back, but the person who's at the job, right? Because it's not Levy, right? If it's not Levy, the architect, right? Paratici, right? Is he going to be working during that World Cup? You already have some teams. I can't name them. It come to my mind who have already made deals for January and some for the summer. So the key person that we sometimes seem to forget, Paratici, is he going to be working these World Cup weeks, right? These 4 or 5 weeks to get deals done, especially without depth, to come in January 1st. He's going to be the key person in this whole deal. And we have to watch him.
He's going to sign Kulusevski.
He's going to re-sign people like Molten Brown to be our official toiletries, and Judo to be our official paint, and Coca-Cola to be the official drink.
No, but the thing is, the person that's the final say is Daniel Levy, right? So if Conte says, "Hey, Paratici, get me I'm saying the summer. Let's say, get me Bastoni," and Paratici goes, "You know what? Okay, I'll go work on Bastoni," and he convinces Bastoni, he's like, "Come to my club," and he's like, and Daniel Levy's like, "What did Inter ask for him?" He's like, "Oh, they want 50 mil." It's like, "I'll give you 35 and see what they want." And I think that I don't think Paratici is as bad. Look, Emerson Royale, slash him off. Okay, I don't think Paratici is as bad as we're making him out when he has to work with Daniel Levy, right? Because Daniel Levy will restrict the type. Look at our left centre back situation.
Hassan Paratici was average at Juventus, man. He was Morata did all the transfers, all the scouting. He ran the network. As soon as he left Juventus, they started going like this because Paratici took them. Look at Paratici's record. For every one player he signs, for every 2 players he signs, one is either good or the other one is terrible. I would say 50% of his business is worth it. The other 50% is just a joke.
What you got to add on that as well? What you got to add on that is Frank Arneson jumped ship to Chelsea. Camoli was shit. Baldini got the bail money. Mitchell left because of Levy, and now we're here.
There was one before. Who was the bald guy? Hitchin.
Steve Hitchin. Yeah.
Oh, and Hitchin. Oh my god! Don't even remind me about that guy, man.
Camoli to Baldini. Baldini to Mitchell to Hitchin. And
I've got to go.
Where we are. See you later, Murray, bro.
See you later, Dan.
Bye.
I've got to go. I've got to go. Big up everybody. I'm just pissed off with that performance. Don't know what I really can say. I've just been on Twitter all day arguing with people saying, "Oh, what do you want Levy to do? Come on the pitch and score 5 goals. Back the manager. That's his job. I hate it when they say that.
I hate that.
I hate that, bro. I do not understand how to get it in their heads that the reason we don't have squad depth on the pitch that they're crying about is because they're the guy that gets them the damn squad depth. I don't know how other way I can explain it.
How's about Levy signs a player that can score the 5 goals?
Honestly, man, I don't know. I completely agree with you. I'm no Mari left, but on the whole Eric Dyer thing, terrible. He should have continued going on, play till the final whistle. But yeah, big up everybody. I've got to go. Big up Will, big up Kieran, big up Brian. As always, big up Shane. CQ, love that rant. You should get mad more often. Hassan, Stel, Dietrich, and Benton with Steak. Big up all of you. Big up everybody.
Pass the fraud.
Benton Steak.
Later, Dan.
He's a
and get Harry Kane off free kicks and Levy out.
I just want to touch a little bit on Basuma because I see a lot of on Twitter people are underwhelmed, and personally, I'm underwhelmed as well because I don't think we're seeing the Basuma we signed from Brighton. But I think, I could be completely wrong here, and everyone can have their say. I think he's being played in a position that's not utilizing his best abilities. I don't think he's a 6. I don't think he's the person. I don't think he's the one that sits in deep, and that's where our scouting department is useless because every player we've bought, we've tried to mold them into something they're not. Look at Richarlison, right? He plays on the left wing at Everton, and he plays a striker at Brazil. But where are we playing him? Right wing. And with Basuma, his number is 8. He is a number 8 at Brighton. He had the freedom to push up and down, and
Hassan,
he's been played. Yeah,
Basuma cost us 25 million because there was 1 year left on his contract.
Yeah.
Now, would we have gone for Basuma if he had 2 or 3 years left on his contract and he was 45 million? So
No,
you've got to look at the deal to understand why we're buying players.
I don't think Basuma was a player Conte asked for. I think he was given to, and he was like, you know what, Basuma isn't too bad. I'll
He's
accept
a good
it.
player.
I'll be satisfied with
Basuma is a good player.
Yeah, and I just don't think he fits.
But we've got 3 players like him.
I don't think he fits what we want. I just don't. I see him get the ball, and he looks like he wants to push forward.
Yeah,
it looks like he wants to push forward and do something, but he just stops. He's like, oh, I can't push because I'm that holding man, and I just don't think that's where he should play.
I think once he gets used to, Conte is comfortable with playing him in a 2, I think you'll see a lot.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think once he's comfortable playing Basuma in a 2 and the 3-4-3, I think you'll see a lot better performances from him. But yeah, I agree. As the 6 in a 3-5-2, it's wasting his talents. Honestly, he needs to stretch his legs. He needs to be able to get the ball on the half turn and then get forward.
Yeah.
So I think he could be similar to like Ndombele, but good, like an Ndombele that can play 90 minutes and actually, does defensive work. That's kind of what
I just think none of the signings we made are stepping up. Perisic is, I think, first 2 games is great.
There's a surprise.
Catching up. Yeah, Basuma hasn't settled in, and that's the thing. When you scout players, you have to what system does my manager play? He plays with 3 at the back and rotates between 3-4-3, 3-5-2. So let me find a centre back who plays in a back 3. Let me find a midfielder who's comfortable in a 2 and a 3. Let me find a forward who can play as that inside number 10. And so when you get those players, boom, straight into the starting 11, and it's elevated. You look at Arsenal. I don't want to talk about them, but you look at Arsenal. What did they need? They needed a really good centre back on the ball, right, to play out from the back. Saliba is that player, right? They needed a versatile forward to link up the play so they can move the ball forward. Jesus is that player, and you've seen it. They've gone straight into the team. But for us, we're trying to push round pegs into circular holes. They don't fit, and we're trying to mold them, and you're seeing that backlash from not scouting properly. And look, we'll never know what happened behind the scenes, whether Conte asked for this or not, but
I can tell you what happened. Conte, I don't think, is asking for individual players. I think the only individual player he asked for was Perisic. I think other than Perisic, he gave the players the positions he needed, and explained the quality. He probably explained the qualities he needed to Prodigy.
Yep.
And then what I think happened is, remember, at the start of the window, within like 2 to 3 weeks, we signed Perisic, Basuma, Forster, and Richie, right? In like the first 3 weeks of the transfer window. And then we didn't do anything for several weeks. And then at the end of the transfer window, we got Longley and honestly, what I think happened is Paratici rattled off those signings real quick, and then Levy was like, "Whoa, you're going too fast there, too much money. I think we need to scale it back. Let's tone it back a little bit." And that's why we didn't go out and get the rest of the players we needed. Honestly,
that fits the timeline with the Jet Spence.
That's exactly what happened.
That fits the timeline with the Jet Spence input with Daniel Levy.
Exactly. I'm sure that the next player was a right wing back, but then he was like,
let Shane have a say.
We got 3 in the midfield, and we got overrun. Basuma, he may be an 8. I don't think he's a 6 either, but even he got overrun. Gameres was bossing that midfield. You know, we had a chance to sign Gameres, and we didn't.
Yeah,
he would have been. He would fit better into our side than
he would.
A couple of the others.
Basuma. I think that's what Stel was saying. If Basuma had 2-3 years on his contract and he was 45-50 million, we wouldn't have gone for him. It's the same with Bruno Guimaraes. He was like 40 odd million. We wouldn't have gone for him. But if he was 20 million, we would have.
But what makes it maddening is then why spend 60 million on Richarlison, who's never scored more than 10 goals in the league? I mean, that's what I don't get. Like, we're not willing to pay for a player in a position that we desperately need, like right wing back, like center back, but you were fine with spending 60 million on a backup rotation striker forward? Like, come on.
I think
it doesn't make any sense. If be cheap with the extra players, not the players that you need for the starting 11.
I think Richarlison kills multiple birds with one stone because he would play left wing, striker, and right wing.
Yeah, but he's not good on the right wing.
Yeah, no, but that's how
there are
Levy thinks about it.
There are other forwards across Europe that have more production that can also do that we could have gotten for less. So why Richarlison?
So I want to address something that Steven in the chat just said, that sometimes it takes time for new players to adapt and sync with a new team. Okay, I actually agree with that. And there was another stream that I was on that, I actually surprisingly was kind of defending Richie to a certain extent. I don't think he's like the second coming of God or anything like that, but I think he needs a little bit of time, and I'm not ready to say Richie is shit, So I do think that there needs to be some consideration of the fact that these players, some of the new players, they might need time to settle in. That being said, it's just not good enough. That's the thing. Some are saying it's either shit, they are shit, our best players. People are saying Son is shit, Kane is shit, Perisic is shit. I'm not ready to go and be they are shit. Dyer is shit. Emerson is shit. Okay, we have to be realistic about that. That being said, Son is not playing good enough. It's just not fucking good enough. They're just not. They're just not good enough right now. And I'm just so mad because I'm I don't understand why they can't just get their shit together, because time's running out. It's like TikTok, guys. Where are you at? Where are you at?
CC, can you repeat? Can you repeat, please?
Honestly,
I didn't hear properly. No. Kieran, wait. See, repeat, please. I didn't hear.
I love Dietrich.
I think the thing with Son and Kane is that it's the same old story for them. Their heads are dropping, and they're not doing those things to take control of the game because they see the same thing that they've seen all these years. We got the manager, but then all the players around them are letting them down, and they just get that feeling of it's just like under Jose. It's going the same way. That feeling is building up throughout the fan base. You think the players can't sense that? They know. They know it's the same thing.
Can I
Once
ask you a
again,
question?
an elite manager and the other players are failing because they're just not good enough.
Who gets the ball to Son and Kane? And I'm not saying pass the ball to Son and Kane when they're surrounded by 4 or 5 defenders. If Son and Kane make an attacking run of some kind, who passes the ball to them?
Well, it's supposed to be based off of a Conte system, Perisic or Cess. Sometimes it's Højbjerg and
Cess doesn't go.
No. Well, I know, but I'm saying that that's what it's supposed to happen. I'm not saying that that's what's happening. I'm saying that what should, in an ideal world, if the players were actually playing the kind of ball that they should be playing, and we actually had the right players in there, then that's what should happen. But that's not what's happening. And that's why I'm not saying that Son is shit, because he is not shit, but he is not playing good enough right now. That's what it is. The best players are not playing good enough, and then there's a bunch of other players that are never going to be good enough, and those players are shit. And then we have all these holes. Then we have all these holes there where we just straight up don't have the player that we need, like a creative midfielder. We don't have that. That's the problem. And then they expect that they're gonna cobble together this team of a bunch of people that don't really quite work together, and then it's suddenly gonna work. Like, oh, let's just get, a poor man's Dan James. Let's fucking get Longley as a stopgap before we can try next summer to maybe get Bastoni. Fuck that shit. That is not going to be a winning team. No, I know, but that's their narrative.
I can see Gvardiol, but not Bastoni.
Yeah, that's their fucking narrative.
He'll get Chelsea, Man City, Guardiola. I think Cube's 100% right. I mean, Son and Kane don't receive the ball enough in a 3-5-2, and honestly, for me, Cess is
but
just
everyone
the same level.
3-5-2, Hassan.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone said
3-5-2.
3. And I'm like, why?
Even I want a 3-5-2, and I'll admit I was wrong. But when you got
so it's
someone
your
like
fault.
Cess,
It's you.
No. If anybody's at fault, it's me, because I was the one that had that tweet. 3-5-2 picture. They got a bunch of likes, and Stell brought it up on his show. And then I feel like every time I've heard you say that on shows over the last 2 weeks, Stell, that you're talking to me specifically. Look, but I'll just say in my defense that when I said the 3-5-2, I was saying the 3-5-2 mainly to play Decky as a right wing back with nobody in front of him, so he could be the one to advance the ball. And I thought him and Decky in more space without Emerson on the pitch. I thought it would add something, but without Decky, I wouldn't say play 3-5-2.
I mean, look, our wing backs today, Sessegnon and Emerson. I think Sessegnon and Emerson are on the same.
We went to a back four.
We
went to a back four.
Yeah, we went to back four. I think at one point Emerson played right centre back. Man, I have no idea what the hell's going on with our players. But I honestly think Sessegnon and Emerson are like the same skill level. I honestly people big up Sessegnon because he's young and he's English and Conte seems to like him. He does the same stuff as Emerson. He can't beat a man. He can't cross. Defensively, he's on and off. Who does that remind you of? Emerson.
Yeah, well, you can't talk shit about the English players, though. You can't talk shit about the English players. The English players.
Eric Dyer's awful. Eric Dyer's a donkey.
But you're an anomaly, Stell. The problem is the problem with a lot of the fan base is they will not entertain any criticism of the English players. They'll go after Son. They'll go after Højbjerg. They'll go after anybody but Sessegnon or Dyer.
That's not true. They went after Winks. They did go after Harry Winks.
Okay, but I mean. I don't think
Harry
Winks defended Harry Winks.
Something very wrong with it.
Yeah, but
look, I think 3-5. I think if we're winning like 2-3-0 and we want to control the game, I think 3-5-2 is a good system to change to. But as Conte's been saying, and rightly so, a lot of us, including myself, was like 3-5-2, and lots of people saying Conte's the coach, he knows. He does. 3-4-3. Was the way to go forward.
I want to say this, right? I want to say this. Whenever I do tactic shows, and especially when I do one with Tottenham TV, the one thing I always say at the start of every time I do a tactic show is formations mean nothing. It's how the shape of the team moves as the game plays. Okay, in possession, out possession, transition. And if you look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what formation we played. That first goal, when that ball came over. How the fuck does that split the defense? That says to me one thing. And when I looked at it the second time, they were out of shape. They weren't even in the formation that he put them in. They've just moved. And I'm like, who told you to do that? There's no way. Conte would have said that.
Eric Dyer marshals the back line. He's the general at the back. He keeps the ball organized.
Toby, Vertonghen, and Wanyama. That shit never happened. Why? Because they were good footballers. They had intelligence and they were comfortable on the ball. Dyer, did you see Dyer almost scoring an goal today? Did you see that back pass? I couldn't believe I was watching. I'm like, and people call him. People say to me, he's a good defender. Oh my god, I can't. He's terrible. He's terrible.
Average at best.
That three with Emerson, Sanchez, Dyer is a ticking time bomb.
And that's
the moment they got the ball.
That's three. By the way, that's three in back-to-back three-peat games where Dyer has made a mistake costing a goal. He did today. He did it in the last game in Man United, and he did it in the game before that with Frankfurt.
The problem is Conte made us believe Dyer and Davies were these amazing players because somehow,
Not me.
somehow,
Not me.
I don't think it is.
Who believed that?
Yeah, I
A
don't
lot
think
of fans.
Majority of fans.
Hassan, it's you again.
Got them to think they were these amazing players because they elevated their skill level somehow. Right? We're like, oh yes, he's doing good. Davies, left centre back, is his position. But now it's not happening, and those errors which we all knew.
It's that whole honeymoon new manager bounce period.
Yeah.
Mourinho did it.
Yeah.
Mourinho did it. Nuno won manager of the month. Yeah, Nuno won manager of the month. They come in, they get 6-7 months, and you're like, wow. You see, it's the manager. Then reality kicks in, and we get into year one, and it's we're driving off a cliff at 100 miles an hour. Woo.
How we signed only one centre back? I don't.
He got roasted. He got roasted for that second goal, man.
Yeah.
He's just standing there. The guy walked past him.
Longley's not a good defender. I think his biggest strength is playing the ball. I thought he was fine with that, but he's not a good defender. You can't put Longley and Sanchez together. You can't
The
put
reason
those two
Longley's the center back is he's too slow to be a midfielder. That's like.
I go back to it. There was 2 blatant mistakes from Lloris. 2 blatant mistakes cost us 2 goals.
I didn't watch the second. I was too mad.
He did a really bad pass to Stas.
Were you in the crowd, State?
No, I just got pissed off and I just turned it off.
Okay, so you were at home. Were you at the ground, Stel?
No, I gave my ticket to who did I give it to? I gave my ticket away. I didn't go. And do you know what, Shane? I knew we were going to lose today. 2 weeks ago, I said this was the game I was worried about the most. I knew this shit was going to happen.
I knew we would lose too. Yeah.
But no, I didn't go. Shane. No.
I just wanted to know what the crowd, the booing was.
Apparently at half time, Shane, it was.
Apparently it was the entire stadium, is what I heard.
It's Nuno vibes again. This is what they did to Nuno.
Like at halftime, it was the entire stadium.
Oh, I hope Conte walks, man. I hope he walks. Get Ryan Mason in. Let's get relegated. Fucking Levy out. It's the only way.
Ryan Mason wins us the Champions League.
Steak. You need to eat more steak.
I do.
I bet you do. Yeah. Steak bake.
My name's Steak and Bake, and I help.
It's just steak on steak.
We're still top 4 though. We are still top 4.
Oh yeah, basically what we're doing right now is we're doing an experiment where we're trying to show everybody what championship level players, like League One level players, how they can possibly actually be in a top 4 sort of like in the table. That's what we're doing right now. We're showing you this is possible, that you can get to top 4 for X amount of weeks, while you're actually playing with championship level and in some cases League One level players. How long can you last?
I think it's a disgrace to League One players.
Yeah,
because they won't be trying to score an own goal.
I think QPR's got a better squad than bloody we have at the moment.
Yeah, you take Son and Kane out of it. I mean,
we'll get relegated. We'll get relegated without Son and Kane. I've said it before. People are like, no, you're too dramatic. You over-exaggerate. I'm like, no, we will get relegated without Son and Kane.
Could probably finish 15th.
Where would the goals come from?
No one else
all
scores.
our goals. Yeah.
Could Zevski would just do long balls to him.
3. He's second with 3. So
we get relegated.
I think just long ball it to Kulu. That's it.
Do you know what? The only thing we just to put a little bit of reality on this whole event of us losing again. Liverpool lost to the worst team in the Premier League, though. Liverpool, right? So
yeah, but Liverpool are shit.
Yeah, well, hold on a minute. They were going to get second place, according to many, not Will, but to many. Liverpool were going to get second place to City,
don't think so.
And Klopp is. Well, at the start of the season, when people did predictions, everyone said City, Liverpool, City, Liverpool. That was the predictions that everyone said. Most people.
Yeah.
Most people said that, and we just trying to put just a little bit of perspective. Yes, we lost to Newcastle. Yes, we lost to United, but we didn't fucking go to Nottingham Forest and lose, man. That is awful. That is so bad.
Forest is starting to gel though. That game was extraordinary. You know, you can tell that the players in Forest were starting or are starting to gel. You know, they had 22 players bought in.
Yeah,
you know, 22 freaking players.
They have the better right back.
We need 16 players.
So draw it.
But Liverpool made Serge Aurier look like a Champions League player.
Do you know who played well today? 2 players that should be at Tottenham right now. Trippier should have. I don't understand that. And
Madison.
that defender Botman. How could we not get him? And we got fucking what's his name? Longlegs. How have we got Longlegs? And we couldn't have just got Botman.
When Newcastle signed Sven Botman, I was like, this is going to be a good signing. Newcastle, they're making smart signings. Okay, Botman was good. I think Nick Pope. I think not. I think Nick Pope is a good signing for them. I think that they are making some good signings. They're being smart about it. And we're just being idiots, just straight up. Honestly, for our thing.
Bargain bin shopping.
No, you got to remember it's quite easy. Longley loan, Botman money.
Oh yeah. That's it. So Botman building. Long legs, stopgap.
Longley got chased out of Barcelona. He started in that 8-2 defeat to Bayern Munich. That should have ended his career. Honestly, he was
Emerson was part of that amazing Barcelona mob.
I'm sorry, but Longley hasn't been bad this year.
He's not been bad necessarily, at least compared.
He's not good enough. Not been good.
He's way better than what we got.
Is he better? Is he that much better than Ben Davis? Really? I mean, on the
if you've got shit,
if you've got shit, they're about the same.
Right? If you've got shit, Piss is better, but Piss still isn't good, and that's what we've done. We've got rid of shit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, a Longley, Botman, Romero back 3 is way better than a Davies, Dyer, Romero back 3.
Yeah, I agree, but we don't. So who was that? Romero, Longley, and
Dyer.
Like a Botman. So say we bought Botman for the middle, right?
Yeah,
that's the center of that, the anchor of that back 3.
I'd rather
Longley,
that would be better.
Romero is way better, significantly better than a Davies, Dyer, Romero.
But Romero was injured today, and Botman plays for Newcastle, so it's
right. But what I'm saying is Longley's not the issue, right? Dyer and Davies are the issue.
Longley
so here's the thing. I don't.
Longley's not the future of Tottenham, though. He's not the future.
But he's a reliable player who's actual quality.
I agree.
I
agree with Will. But the problem,
their striker walked past him today.
He's too slow for.
I agree with you.
Will, that was
I agree with you, Will. The only thing I'll say,
that was an MLS player.
Wait, the thing that I'll say about Longley, though, the issue is not Longley just specifically. It's the way they were going about it. They're using Longley as a stopgap. That says something about the club. It's not the fact that they signed Longley. It's the fact that they signed Longley on a season loan and just used him as a stopgap to be like, what are we going to, haven't figured out what we're doing in the long term. That's the thing. That is the problem. For me,
we're waiting for Bastoni. We're waiting for Bastoni to sign for Juventus.
Do you know whenever you go to the train station and you're at the Longley stop, you don't know what the next one is.
Somebody is ready to take pot shots at you guys and snipe out the guy who throws hats, and that's Jason G.
Jason.
I know you're unhappy. Jason. I know you are.
I'm gonna go over some shit you probably spoke about, but first of all, fucking Lloris, there was no fucking need for him to lay on the floor. He did not need to fall over. He could have stayed on his feet and fucking run back towards goal or tried. He did not need to hit. He wasn't forcibly pushed on the floor. You know what I mean? He fucking wasn't.
Why didn't he just kick the ball, Jason? Why didn't he just kick the ball?
Because he's a moron. I'm fucking sorry, but that was moronic. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
You're not wrong.
And the other thing that pissed me off is fucking every time Sanchez got the ball, they pressed him hard because he's fucking useless at fucking playing football.
Jay,
Preach,
Jay,
brother,
Jay,
preach.
You know what it is as well, Jay, and I realised this with the United game. First of all, Jay, I hope you're good, brother.
I'm good, mate.
And then literally, what I found over the last few games, we're going for the scapegoats. Like if I look at it against Manchester United, 10 players played fucking pathetically, and 10 players come in for blame. Not let's pick the ones. And today, 9 players played shit.
I don't know, mate.
No, Jay, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying what you just said. I'm saying at the moment, this isn't just this one's not good enough, that one's not good. The whole fucking thing is shit.
Oh, it's a shit show, 100%. But I'm just saying, they made a fucking point of pressing him hard because the whole fucking world knows he can't pass the ball. And as soon as you put pressure on him, he makes schoolboy fucking decisions.
What does that say?
Don't even get me started on fucking Dyer. What the fuck? Dyer.
So you need to sit back.
Fuck.
Imagine Jason on Sky Sports.
Stewing on this for hours, by the way.
It's not good enough, man. It's not good enough.
It's just 5 years ago under Poch, Dyer and Davies weren't even getting the starting 11, and now we want to move forward, and they start like every second week, Dyer every single week. I think that tells you everything you need to know about what we're doing as a club. That we've taken backups and made them starters.
I mean, how the fuck did he? How bad? I'll tell you what. England's choices are desperate if he's a fucking international centre back. That's all I've got to say.
Well, I mean, they had Maguire.
No, he just hates Tomori.
At this point, I don't know which one's worse. And I'm being fucking real with you.
Jason.
I've said this. At 1v1 defending especially, Eric Dyer is every bit as bad as Harry Maguire. Every bit as bad. And if Maguire had played in a back three, just like Dyer does, it would cover up his mistakes a lot more. It wouldn't be as obvious. But you put
Dyer's supposed
Dyer
to be
in
a fucking ball-playing centre-back.
You know what annoys me even more than the fact that Dyer is so shit? It's the fact that he acts like it's everybody else's fault.
Yes.
Whenever he makes a mistake, he's fucking going around and yelling at other people and being like, you should have gotten that. Like, he's acting like it's not his fault every time. He's always telling people to do things and ordering them around, and then the ball comes to him, and then he turns his back to it.
But cute, he's so intelligent. He's so well-spoken. He speaks 3 languages.
You know what?
He's the most cultured player on the team.
Ederson, actually, and you can all fucking shoot me for this, he actually offended me the least out of all of them.
I agree.
100%.
And I'm being real now. He offended me the least out of all of them.
For his standard, that was a good game from him, honestly.
That's
Take your say.
Not that the bar's very fucking high, I hasten to add.
Would you guys prefer long way to go in the centre instead of Dyer and put Davies on the left?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, man.
Bring back Juan Foyth.
Yeah, I'm with Stel. It doesn't matter.
Actually, you know what back three I'd rather see?
We just couldn't find a position for him. I like Juan Foyth.
I'd rather see Tanganga come in.
Exactly.
Longley, Romero, Tanganga either on the center or
play
Romero
Romero in the centre with fucking Tanganga and Longley. Give it a fucking go.
I'm just upset that Man United get CR7, Man City get the Scandinavian freak, Liverpool get the Egyptian prince, and we get moon boots and chicken royale. I mean, it's our players' nicknames are so, what's the word, inspiring, and you feel confident going into every game.
Chicken royale.
So you just wings down.
Yeah, get ready for that comp.
Oh, yeah,
that comp is coming out. Get ready for that comp.
I can only imagine the atmosphere in that stadium.
Sounds like a wanker.
Acidic.
Yeah.
Wanker bell.
Even listening on TV, it was loud. The boos at halftime. It was loud. only could
It must
imagine
have been
60,000
acidic.
people booing.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, fucking Newcastle went into time wasting mode with about 30 minutes to go. But like,
what
I
do you
don't
think-
fucking blame them.
Yeah.
We would have done the same thing.
To be fair,
Eric
though,
Dyer, Wayne's a neutral. Eric Dyer is moon boots.
yeah. To
Because
be
he's got
fair,
such
though,
heavy, he's got such a heavy stride, Wayne, that we call him
If
moon
they'd-
boots.
If they'd have pressed the issue,
Michael
they probably
Jackson.
would have scored another one.
Whoa.
He
When
wishes
did
he was
Jackson
Michael
come into
Jackson.
this?
He wishes
When
he
did
was Michael
Jack-
Jackson.
don't bring Jackson into this. Don't bring one of my favourite. Listen, well, whatever people's views, don't start bringing Michael Jackson into this. This has got nothing to do with him. That guy is a superstar. I should have been going to see him in concert, but he fucking died on me.
Allegedly.
Yeah, okay, there you go, Mike. But yeah, yeah,
Back to
Moon,
football,
but yeah.
not Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, also, like, fucking. No, do you know what? I'm not even going to say it.
Do you know what? I don't think Conte is going to last. I thought.
Oh, of course not.
I
I think he's going to walk.
Yeah, he's gone.
You know who should get sacked?
I don't
Tim
think he's
fucking
gonna-
Sherwood as a not Tim Sherwood, fucking that commentator. Oh, my fucking town. Andy fucking Townsend can
Oh, mate.
die in a heap. I hate that.
Why?
He's so biased.
Yeah.
I fucking hate him.
Why is Ryan Mason part of the? I saw him on the bench, part of the coaching team, and I thought, 1 minute here, I've got more coaching badges than him. I actually have more coaching badges than him. And I'm like, why is he there to advise? Like,
Yeah, why are you
what
not
you
there?
advising? What are you advising?
Conte saw him taking a training session when he first got there, and he liked what he saw, and he offered him
It's
a
not just
position.
that, Jay. It's not just that. If you remember this, I watched a program on this, and this relationship is a lot deeper than you think. Because when
Yeah, it's the
Ryan
injury.
Mason was playing, when Ryan Mason was playing for Hull, and he fractured his skull, it was against Antonio Conte's Chelsea. And as soon as that happened, Antonio Conte after the game
More
rushed
emotional blackmail.
rushed to the hospital and kept in constant contact with him, like even after he retired, and said, "If there's any way I can help you, blah 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 blah." And then
That's
obviously
a
when
nice
he came-
gesture. It's a nice gesture.
when he came to the club, he was like, right, and he saw that obviously he's got aspirations to become a manager. He was like, right, you're becoming part of my coaching staff. So that connection is deeper than it just seems. That goes back to when he was playing for Hull, and obviously he fractured his skull.
Good deal. But we got a first-time caller, I do believe, to this particular show. Folks, be nice to him. I'm gonna pull myself out and bring him in. Everybody in the chat, say hello to Rex.
Hello, Rex.
What's that, Rex?
Hey,
Hello,
Rex.
Rex.
Hey,
Hi again, Rex.
There you go.
Rex
Hey,
been
my
on
Kiwi brother.
some other ones.
how we doing, buddy?
Yeah. Been a while.
Can you hear us?
Not too bad.
Are you?
Getting a bit of feedback, but hopefully I'll be all right.
We can hear you, so that's all good.
What do you think of the game, Rex? I think he's on a delay. I think he's got a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so as well.
He's- All right. Well, we're just gonna talk, and when you're ready, Rex, you hop in.
This is going well.
It's like watching Eric Dyer play.
Rex, can you hear it?
It's like Spurs this season.
Rex, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, but sometimes there's two voices coming across at the same time.
Okay, so go.
Have you?
Just
Do you have YouTube playing? If you do, mute it. So mute the YouTube channel. Or
Yep. Let me try this. YouTube. Right. I'll log out again. Don't worry. Yep.
All right, buddy.
all right.
All right, when you come back in, we'll bring him in. But make sure when you're calling in, if you close out the YouTube window when you click the link that's in the chat in the YouTube app, make sure that you open it up in the browser by itself and not actually join the stream through the YouTube window. Otherwise, you might get some feedback. Hit the link, and then if it pops up with a new window down at the very bottom of whatever device you're using, it says you can open it in the original browser. Go ahead and open StreamYard in the original browser. Then you can close out the YouTube app. and we won't have problems.
Sun fans can kiss my ass.
Some fans.
That's so random.
Some
Throwing that out there.
Dietrich, read the fucking room, okay?
No, actually, I was gone for a long time. That's why I just came out and said some random shit. I wasn't listening. Sorry.
Until refs come back, on Stell's point about if Conte will survive or not, I feel if in January he doesn't get any players, so I don't think he'll sign a contract until the end of the season. I don't think he'll sign a contract before the Winter World Cup, and if he does, then I think he's been leading. But I hope.
Why did you mute me?
Hassan, you got some background noise, so make sure you ride the mute when you're not talking. Sorry.
Can I just say that Hassan, you just said that Conte is waiting for January. The fact that he's staying after what happened in the summer should be a disgrace by itself. I'm not saying Conte out in any shape or form, but it's unacceptable for a guy of his stature and his standards. I don't care what
manage a club like Tottenham Hotspur.
No, to be like, no, you left Inter after winning a title because they will sell your best players, and then you come at Tottenham and accept of Spence and Longley.
But he's not trying to sell Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, right? That's the point.
But I don't care if you don't want to sell them. The fact that you had that shit window at 2 out of 10.
But I just think if Conte has the reputation of leaving whenever he's not backed, or manager or owners don't supply him with the right quality of player, obviously he did that at Juve. Hold on. Obviously he has decided that it's going to take some time, and if he's willing to be patient, I think
that's what he said.
We should be patient too.
I think
we
that's
cannot
also,
be patient.
That's part of the why this narrative, especially in the media, the big media like Sky, TalkSport, ESPN FC, whatever you want to call it. This narrative around Conte as like, oh, he's a 2 to 3 season manager. Well, that's largely been circumstantial based on his interaction with ownership and management of these clubs. Another thing, though, and I think Conte has basically said this, and again, I think a lot of what he said is taken out of context or misunderstood because he's not fully fluent in English. And I don't think he always gets his point across exactly how he means to. But he said plenty of things that will lead you to believe, if you pay attention, that his whole point in being here and being at Tottenham is he wants what Pep and Klopp have. And he knows that the only chance is to get in to a club like Tottenham, Man U, or Arsenal that are right outside and build something over the years. The one thing Conte's never done is build a project. That's what he do now. He's trying to do that so he can be considered at the same level as Pep and Klopp in terms of managerial.
In his presser, in his presser, he did say that we're at the start of a project.
Yeah.
He said that today after his presser.
We heard that before.
You know what? Good though, because I'm glad they're actually putting it out there now. We're at the start of a project. This is a project. Like the fucking club should be putting this out.
But how can we be a part of a project and we have the best years of Kane and Son?
Well, that's unfortunate.
It's not. You're never.
Leave it, isn't it?
You're never gonna get a better striker and a better left winger in your lifetime. That is the best moment to start your rebuild.
No one's disagreeing with you, mate. But
no, I know, but I'm just saying Conte. I'm just don't understand Conte when he says it's gonna take time. You don't have time.
He spoke with the club and he knows the club aren't going to throw fucking hundreds of millions of fucking pounds at him every fucking.
But then leave. Just leave then.
Well, he obviously doesn't. Yeah, but he obviously doesn't want to.
Okay,
otherwise
but then,
he would have.
Okay,
so I don't know why you're confused.
No, but then he's not a serial manager if he's waiting for to accept this mediocrity.
Well, I don't know that I buy into that at all.
But Mr. Stelios has got to hit the pay because it is time for him to go to the biz-ed.
It's early for him.
No, the sunshine
he's
is
going to
out.
bed early tonight.
I've got a long day tomorrow. I'm just going to say big up to everyone in the show for watching. Shane, Brian, Kieran, Will, Benton Core, Benton Steak, Steak Bake, Dietrich, Cube, Jason, Hassan, Mwah. Have a good one.
Please,
Bye, Sally.
Good night, Stelly Belly.
Stelly Belly.
Stelly Belly.
This fucking team's gonna be the death of me, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the thing. I've been on track with that Conte was coming here for that reason. Because why else would he come to Tottenham? He's not coming here to do a quick 2-year win a league, and because he knows that, like, he knows that wouldn't happen. Daniel Levy and his methods are notorious in the football world. Everybody knows. He came here to build a project because he wants to do what Pep and Klopp have done and build a team that can then start ticking over winning trophies year to year in the best league in the world. Because Conte wants to be the best. The elite mentality. It's also not just for his teams, it's for him. He wants to be the greatest manager in the world. He wants to be up there with Pep and Klopp.
But even, but hold on. But even a project,
regardless one of the best.
But even with a project, this is not the way that you do a project. Okay,
Exactly.
even if you're saying it takes time. Okay, it doesn't. Just because you're saying like, okay, a project, fine, let's go. One after the other, build on each other, right? But then you're like, okay, I'm going to play Dyer. I'm not going to get another center back. Like, that shows you're not really. That's not a project. That's not a project decision. That's not a project decision.
Thank you.
Longley as a stopgap for one season. That's not a project.
Yeah, but
that's not building. That's not building. That's not a building.
I agree.
We don't know the circumstance of Longley though. Maybe there's like 2 people that he definitely wanted in that spot, and we couldn't get either of them this window. So maybe they're like, fuck it, we'll get him in rather than spend money on someone we maybe want and really push for him again in the next window. Like, we don't know.
I agree with Jason. I think that's exactly the plan. I think because they failed to get Bastoni this summer, bring in a guy as a stopgap, go for him again next summer. I think
rather
that's
than throw money away on like the third best choice.
Exactly, which is actually a good decision because that's not usually what we do.
Agree.
We usually settle.
Hold on. Then in that case, if we're talking about,
I also don't think Bastoni is ever going to come. So.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely not going to come. But hold on. If you're talking about a project, okay, and you're saying that is what's happening, and that Longley is a stopgap because they do have something in mind and it's going to take time and whatever. Then you know what that means? That means that Perisic is also a stopgap. That means that even Son and Kane are stopgaps.
I don't know about that.
They are, because they're going to run out of fucking time. Okay, they're not getting any younger. Son and Kane are not getting any younger. For them,
so no, it's old. Kieran,
3 to 4 years. I think
Kieran,
they
it's
can.
old. No, it's old.
Son won the Golden Boot last season. What are you talking about?
No. If it takes like 2 years, I don't think Son is gonna have it. I don't think.
No,
so.
I think Son will still be firing. But here's the thing. But hold on.
He's 30. He's still the fastest guy in the squad.
Yeah, like he's still going to be firing. Okay, I didn't say that he's not. Okay, but he is 30, and Kane is 29. And if we're talking about a rebuild, they should have made more progress this past summer than they did. Yeah. And by the time they get to that rebuild that we're looking for, then Son and Kane are going to be more like 35. Okay, we're not talking about 33. Okay, we're not talking about 32. We're talking about 35.
I don't think it takes that long to do a rebuild.
I don't see Conte staying for 5 years if he's not going to win anything.
If we take the Scum, for example, they're what, 3 full seasons?
Yeah, they finished 8th twice and finished 5th once.
But like, I'm just saying.
So if we've, but this is what I'm saying. Sorry, Jason, go ahead.
No, go on, mate. You finish.
No, I was just saying, like, so what's the worst case? We finish 4th and 3rd and then win the title next year. I mean, if that's the rebuild, wow, painful, right?
Right.
Like, I mean,
I agree that if we continue with the transfer policy like we did last window, if January and the next summer are like last window, then yeah, I mean, it's going to fall apart and Conte will leave. But if we do improve on our transfer business, then yeah, I think next season we could win a cup and the season after that, we can challenge for a title. And
Well,
Kane
let's
and
get
Son
it
will
right,
still
though.
be really good. Like, they're not going to
So,
decline.
so the other thing that my issue is,
January
you said it.
window is as good as the last January window. I'm not going to complain.
Exactly. It changed our season. Kulu and Bentancur came, and look how bad we are without Decky now.
And I'm not saying any of this is going to happen, by the way. This is all what ifs and fucking maybes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
We're all
What if the maybes? But I think that it might be that in this current system, especially with a manager like Conte, that the winter windows may be our ticket, right?
Yeah.
Because what I've been calling for the last couple years, I don't know how long I've been doing this channel, is to stop buying 7 or 8 players in a window and buy 1 or 2 quality players. So if in the winter window, because it's the winter window, we're only buying 1 or 2 quality players, and we're not buying all the floofer junk that we buy in the summer. It could be the winter window end up being better than the summer window, just like it was last season.
Yeah,
Boy,
well,
you're having
there's a difference
No,
with the thing with this time is there's a difference with this window because of the World Cup, and any players we were trying to ascertain or looking at, if they have a good World Cup, their price shoots through the roof. If they have a good World Cup, other clubs, I get what you're saying, in any other window, any other January window, except this one coming up.
But what market do we shop in though right now? And that's Italy. And is Italy in the World Cup? No, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, but no. But you say that we shopped for it. We shopped in Italy in January. We bought 2 players from Italy. Were they Italian?
No, one was South American.
Uruguay
one was
are at the World Cup. Sweden obviously aren't.
Yeah,
Yeah, we might ship in that
Sweden.
league. We might shop in that league, but doesn't mean just because Italy aren't going, the players we aren't looking are Italian.
Zanolo is one that guy that we were hot and heavy for in the summer that didn't get right at the end of the window or whatever.
Yeah, I mean he is.
Personally, I'm glad his injury record is horrible.
Yeah, he's horrible. He's the next Lamella.
Yeah, but he's
Combine that with our
playing
medical
bloody well
department.
for Roma at the moment.
Until he tears his ACL again. And the next time he tears a ligament, it's the end of his career. He'll never recover if he tears another ligament. It'll be the end of his career for sure.
So here's the thing, okay? I've been calling from the beginning of this season. I've been calling for, I'm not saying that, we had a great transfer window, whatever. It was decent transfer window, but it's not like I expect everything all at once, okay? Because that's just not realistic to think that you could get every player that you would want all at once and we would magically be that club, But
It is.
my thing is this, like, we are constantly unable to just swallow the bitter pill, and I blame this on the ownership, and be able to make smart decisions and not be haunted by them later. So Karen, you're saying before that we keep living in the past, and I feel like over and over again, it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back constantly. It's like we're talking about the summer transfer window, the last summer transfer window, when we need to be looking at this January transfer window. We're talking about, we're talking about, Poch, as opposed to Conte. It's like Poch is over. It's already over. We have Hill came back to us, and we still can't play him. Now we're looking at Winks probably coming back in January. Like, we're gonna have to deal with Dombal. Yeah, Dombal came back, and Lo Celso and Reiki came back, and we still couldn't get rid of them for like the long term, right? And so, or for indefinitely, right? So we're just constantly haunted by the past. Like, even when we're talking about, like, earlier, I know that the mention was like, this doesn't have that long ball. That does not happen with, a back of Toby, Wanyama. Like, but the fact that we keep talking about that time period shows you how much we're just constantly looking backward and how we're haunted. We're actually haunted by the decisions that this club has made over and over again. We cannot make a good decision moving forward and just look forward and just not have to deal with that shit again. And that's what's frustrating for me.
The best business we did in summer, actually, in my opinion, is a player we don't even have playing for us yet. Yeah. Like, honestly, next season,
he's going to be a baller.
If he ain't a fucking, if he ain't right, if he ain't a shoo-in for that spot, I don't know what. Like, in my opinion, that's the best business we did all fucking.
I agree, Jason.
So do
100%.
you know one thing I've got to say? And Cube actually brought his name up, and it reminded me of this. Okay, I'm going to talk about Harry Winks, not in a positive whatever, but in my Leave You Out group, one of them is personal friends with Harry Winks, and I mean went to school like proper in with him, whatever. Okay, so he came in for some flack in the group and banter and whatever. And do you know what he kept saying? And it was only until after United I realised this. Harry Winks, sorry, we all went mad at. He's not good enough. He's not good enough, which I completely agree with. All he does is backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways. He's not even in the country. What's our midfield doing at the moment? Backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways. But because Harry Winks, who is labelled as that, and don't get me wrong, I agree that he's that. I don't want to see him in a Spurs shirt. What I've got to remember is Harry Winks is a die-hard Spurs fan. Harry Winks, when he started under Poch, started off brilliant until he got a nasty or horrible injury against Burnley. Because of Pochettino and where he elevated us, Harry Winks is there. We are there. But we can't keep saying, oh, Harry Winks is crap, he's backwards, sideways, and he's gone. And we're still playing backwards, sideways, but no one gets a mention about it.
I buy back Winks.
It's because so when I was talking about Winks, I'm talking about because we just keep getting haunted by everything of the past. So my point is that really, like, it's much deeper. It's the players, they're not good enough. The ones that are the best ones are not stepping up enough. And then in addition to all that, all of it goes way deeper in it. It has to be with the club. It has to be with the ownership, because we're constantly making the same mistakes over and over again. A rotating manager, it doesn't matter which manager, it doesn't matter what new players we sign, it's always the same shit over and over again. And we're always looking like, what's wrong with what we're doing? Well, of course it's wrong, because we're doing the same thing.
That's right. Robert Yee's got a good point, though. And what do we say to the haters, Cubed?
Haters gonna hate.
No, he said fuck the haters.
Oh yeah, the haters. Oh yeah, I was like, haters gonna hate. No, yeah, fuck the haters. That's your motto. That's Will's motto. Everybody.
Oh
yeah, and wait, hold on.
Can I do my Van Wilder? Well, I just want to say my Van Wilder quote too.
Why are you wearing a tank top, by the way?
Why? I've been wearing a tank top all day, dude. It's hot in here, man. You see all these lights and equipment in this room?
No, he's just trying to show his guns.
But why is everybody got to make fun of my look? It takes a lot of work to do what I've done in 4 weeks, or not 4 weeks, but 2 months. So if I can't show it off, then what am I doing it for? Right?
I mean, Will he vacillates between just like Jersey Shore bro-y like gear, or he goes like British schoolboy. So it just kind of like pick your avatar.
This is just okay. So maybe people don't know, but like in Korea, they have house clothes. So you guys know what house clothes are?
Nice.
Yeah,
it's like clothes you only wear in the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
Right?
Yeah.
So like when you go out, it's for one, because a lot of times they don't have electric dryers in Korea, so they hang dry most of their clothes. So washing your clothes is a pain in the butt, right? Like, so you wear your clothes out, and then when you get home, you take them off.
Yeah.
And this is just my house clothes, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but you gotta explain. Why do you wear extra small?
I don't. This is a large, bro.
Yeah, that's a large.
That's just how big I am.
I wear basketball shorts at home all the time, but you'll never catch me out in
exactly
in basketball shorts. Like, you'll never catch me slipping like that in public.
Yeah, like I wear like
the steak outfit.
I wear like 4-inch inseam sweatpants shorts, but I ain't wearing those outside.
Yeah,
steak pajamas.
I'm wearing Daisy Dukes right now.
But I wear this outside. I actually did wear this outside today to my kids' game because there's not much more time to get sun on me before.
Also, you're in Georgia and it's freaking hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Down there.
It's
even in October, it's still hot down there.
Yeah, it's like 78, or it was like 78 degrees today. So
I know Brian wears Tottenham pants at the moment and Levy bottoms.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, mate. That I can't get enough of them.
Hey, those Levy boxers on.
I
Yeah,
guarantee,
mate,
I guarantee
have-
you that Levy is a bottom. I guarantee that.
I have the whole collection, Dietrich.
Yeah,
The whole
I can
collection,
do
mate.
it.
I have the whole winter wardrobe, the
Dresses
summer
his
Don't be
guy
wardrobe.
falls
sexist
up
now.
in it
Don't
every
be
year, then you're
sexist.
fine.
I
two-
do, mate, and I buy Dulux paint so I can give the club some more money. I have Molten Brown to be my toiletries. I
We'll-
drink a lot of Coke.
yeah.
Yeah, I have it
Dude,
all,
I
mate.
used to work for Molten Brown.
Mate, we've just extended our contract with them to be our official toiletries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I said. Mate, didn't you see the tweet? I
I'm not
put
going to
out?
lie, it's good shit.
Oh no, mate! Listen, I put the tweet out when Google came out, and everyone's going, "Oh, Google, we're going to be Google, Google, Google. Oh, the money's coming in. We're going to be Google, Google, Google." And I said, "Listen, mate. The last time we went through this, it was Amazon with the naming rights. That went on for a week, where it's big news. It's at an advanced stage. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. And then
Where is these?
And then we became a banter club because we announced Dulux as our official paint sponsor. So I said,
Dulux and Cadbury's.
yeah, and I was like, you watch, a week will go by, and we'll announce another sponsorship. And guess what, mate? We've extended the contract of our official toiletries. So everyone, get your stocking fillers in.
I don't know what kind of toiletries is? I forgot. I don't even know what brands we're sponsored by right now.
Even I think Hugo Boss too for clothes.
Yeah, Hugo Boss is horrible, dude. It's like the worst cologne you could get, man.
No, I mean clothes.
Clothes too.
Like,
Hugo
no,
Boss
clothes
is
are the
sweet, bro.
best.
They
They
make
have
nice
nice
suits,
suits.
dude. They really
make
do make
excellent
They make a
suits.
nice whistle.
There's better suits to get than a Hugo Boss.
Well, I'm sure there are, but they probably
Mate, I
cost
used
more
to,
than Hugo Boss.
Jay, I used
Boss
to work
Cologne's okay.
Jay,
I wear Boss.
Jay,
I
ages
wear
and
Boss
ages
too.
ago,
So what are you
Jay,
saying?
I wear
Jay,
State.
I used to be the suit manager for London for Cecil G, so I used to be selling Boss suits and Versace and everything. Boss are alright if you've got the build for it. They're like a box cut as opposed to fitted in styles. If you're a big lump or a well put together, they're good. But if you're like me, you need the more tape. I wouldn't go and say that I'm
No guns. No guns for the gun show, Brian.
Not that I'm getting out right now.
But Brian,
I'm
you're
not
built. I think you can wear. I think you can wear.
He doesn't
this-
want to make you feel bad,
I-
Will, because he's all natural.
Yeah,
You're
no,
all-
I
am
you're
all
off
natural.
the
So for a
field
fluffy
steroids.
guy
Look
like
at you.
myself, they'd suit me, eh?
Listen, like I said, it's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight in the dog. And trust me, I've got a lot of fight in me.
But when the dog has fight in him as well, and he's much larger, then you're gonna be worried.
Yeah, then I just use my Krav Maga that I'm trained in, and then it's game over. So
Krav Maga.
I just use my 9mm.
so that'll do me well enough.
Brian, did you learn that?
Yes, man. I lived in Israel for 4 years.
Shit, but that,
Did you have to do mandatory military service when you were there?
No, mate. Okay, you want to hear a story about military? So, when I moved to Israel, I made something called Aliyah, which is where you make citizenship. So I've got dual citizenship right now, and I was at the age when I made Aliyah that I was at the cusp of. I was 25, which was like the
Cut-off
cut-off
date.
point.
Yeah.
But then I had just turned 26. So when you've made this, the army come around to all the kibbutzes to check if the eligibility, if there's anyone that they can recruit or gonna recruit. And they came round, and I was like, Joe, I want to do the army. I want to give something back to Israel. They give me a second chance of life after my breakdown, blah, 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 blah. So after I had my initial assessment, they asked for my mental records, mental health records from the doctors and everything. And obviously I had a mental breakdown in 2004, and this was 2005, 2006. The army came back to me and said, Brian, we've spoken to your doctors. You're too crazy for the army.
And not just any army, Israeli military.
There you go.
And I said to them, I'll work in the kitchens. I'll do like whatever. Just you don't need to put me on the front line. No,
They're afraid you're gonna stab the potatoes, so they wouldn't.
you're not having a gun. You're not being there. That literally, I kid you not, strike me down on everything that I live on. The army refused me based on being too crazy.
Explain.
No wonder Levy blocked you.
No,
So-
so they contacted the doctors in the UK.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
No
and I had to
way.
have a
Already got
yeah,
his medical
How do I do
records,
that?
yeah, how?
telephone, email.
No,
Yeah,
man,
but how
like,
did they get the contact?
I have to give
It-
permission to them.
It's
Oh,
Mossad. They know
Yeah, you sign
everything.
off. So even
You sign
even,
off, and I have
e-
to give them authorization.
even
to,
for,
to
like,
submit a letter or
insurance.
a report.
even for insurance, you got to sign off and give people permission to view your records.
He's back.
I had to
Back
do it
one
when I
year.
went to the dentist when they took
Ah,
X-rays.
wait.
Too crazy
up, Rick?
to have a
Oh,
Finally.
Too crazy to have my teeth fixed.
Rick, Rex, tell
It's
us your
that
thoughts on the
broadband
game,
in New
man.
Zealand, eh, mate?
Yeah, well, I had to sign in via Facebook and had to remember my password. Anyway, I won't bore you with all that. Greetings from New Zealand, anyway, where it's, let's see, nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon on, what day are we? Tuesday, Monday.
Is there
Monday,
what's the,
4
what's
in
the
the
time
afternoon.
difference between where Shane and Rex are at? There shouldn't be
About
any.
2
is there?
hours, mate.
It's 24
2
hours. It's 24 hours.
3
here.
Holy
hours.
cow.
Shane, you must
Got
be
like a
on
day.
the east coast of Australia, are you?
Brisbane, mate.
Brizzy, you're right, yeah. Yeah. 2 hour difference between New Zealand and the east coast of Australia. Look, here's my
but
quick.
daylight savings.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're-
Yeah.
So we don't do daylight savings here.
No, you're wise.
We're backward.
Yeah. No, I don't mind it.
Apparently, like we're only changing ours a half hour this year, Kieran or Cubed or Brian.
Wait, what?
I don't know,
think
mate.
it's
I'll be
1
back
hour.
in England when it happens.
Yeah,
When did it happen?
no. This year they're redoing the daylight savings time. So this daylight savings time, it's only gonna adjust like 30 minutes.
That's
Can't
so
be asked.
You gotta,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Why
Well,
bother?
and then when
Why
it
not
falls
just-
forward, it'll go a full hour again.
Why
so
not just do away with it at that?
I don't know, man. I can't. I watched a video about it, but I don't know if it's legit or not.
Daylight hours.
Anyway, Rex has
Out.
to give us.
Yeah.
Rex
Rex,
has
No,
to
it's
go
1
fire
hour.
away.
It's 1 hour. Will.
Rex,
Well,
fire-
first, by a quick intro, I'll say I've been a Spurs fan since about 1970, so that dates me a bit. I'm old enough to remember Alan Mullery playing and Cyril Knowles from the original Nice One Cyril chant. And, it's been pretty tough being a Spurs supporter the last 30 years, I have to tell you. It's lean picking but between that and being a New Zealand cricket supporter, I've been taking a pummeling most of the last 30 years, but never mind. I think looking at the short term, I think what we have to do is try and hunker down over the next 2 weeks and get through this 2-week period with minimal damage. I think our short-term aim should be to qualify out of our group still. So we've got to win one of those last 2 games and also win that Carabao Cup game against Nottingham Forest. And then we can get to the World Cup break, still being in 2 cup competitions, and hopefully then come back and play 1 or 2 games, and then we'll be able to enter that window in January and try and sign 2 or 3 really top-class players. And so that's my sort of vision over the next 2 months. That's what I'm hoping for.
Rex, let me ask you a question. What made you, being in New Zealand, is there any family ties to London or anything? Or what was the reason for supporting Tottenham?
Oh, just as a small kid, a 9-10-year-old playing soccer, as it was called then, I just, the name Tottenham Hotspur just appealed to me, and they had some top players at the time I rather liked. The end of Jimmy Greaves, and I think you had Martin Peters for a while, and players like that. But the name is such a great sounding name, Tottenham Hotspur. So I could have chosen any club, but I just chose Tottenham Hotspur, and I decided I'll stick to it ever since. That was the reason.
There you go.
Yeah. But I take a huge amount of stick from other fans from other clubs here in New Zealand. As you can imagine, Manchester United and Liverpool are probably the 2 most followed clubs in New Zealand. Probably that's the same in Australia, would it be, Shane? Those 2 clubs, but
No, we got a good cross section here. We got really well informed people. I see a lot of the
I don't know about
grassroots-
that. I mean, Dietrich's is, on the stream, so.
Dietrich,
no.
He's in Australia.
Bryce, I don't know, Bryce, you gonna throw Bryce into that pot?
Steve, fuck off.
I mean,
you are, but Bryce.
But then you could say Shamu from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Australia's got a very wide cross section. It all starts from
Bryce? I haven't seen
grassroots.
him in a while.
We've got people. I see Liverpool supporters, Manchester United supporters, Arsenal supporters. I give them shit, but yeah, and they give me shit back. It's a very wide cross section. We've got fans of West Brom, you know. We got fans of Millwall, you know. It's very, very, very widespread. But you're right in saying that your biggest three are Manchester United, Liverpool, and Arsenal.
Yeah, that's true. I'm hoping, as I say, if we can get through this next 2-week period, get through the World Cup window, and also acquire some players. I have my fingers crossed that we can do well in one of the cup competitions in the second half of the season. I don't have any hopes we're going to win the league, of course, Premier League, but you know, I do have some hopes that, strengthened by the January window, we can win a knockout cup, one of these. I mean, most optimistically, I can't say we might win the European Champions League, but it's nice to dream that way. But more realistically, we can win a League Cup or the FA Cup.
That's if we don't get a Big Six team away.
True. You know,
all the way to the final.
So Rex, you've mentioned the January transfer window a couple times. Like, for you, which of the players that you think need to be upgraded on the most? Which, you know, or what is your general feeling about, you know, our starting 11, the players we see the most?
You know, I tend to agree with, you know, Brian and Stel, many others in the Irish Hotspur. You know, but we probably need a large number of players. But if realistically, if we're only going to acquire 2 or 3, I think I would like to see, and if they're not going to play Spence, I'd like to see us acquire a right wing back. We need that strengthened. And if I could choose 3, a centre back, so someone to put in straight away ahead of Dyer. And if I could have a third one, again, a creative attacking midfielder of the sort like Madison or someone of that ilk. So if we could get 2 out of 3 there, that would help a lot, I think.
I agree. Brian, you've been staked, by the way.
Oh, for fuck's sake. What? Look at his profile picture. Look. Gee,
it's been a little bit disappointing after all the optimism about Perisic, and you know, 1 or 2 thought Perisic was probably our best signing. He seems to have sort of fallen away somewhat in recent games, and perhaps some of his limitations slightly showing up. So he hasn't quite come on as we all hoped, perhaps. I still think he's a superb player, but he hasn't just quite kicked on as we'd hoped. I don't know what the rest of you think.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that he's 33 years old. He came in to the squad with an injury, and he was carrying an injury when he came in. And he's just at his age. You know, let's not forget, too, he's been playing in Italy, which is a slower pace. So with his age, pace, coming off an injury, we just can't expect him to go 90 minutes week in, week out in the league and get minutes in the cups as well. I just think it's been too much football for him too fast. And I think that's the main reason why he hasn't been producing. So.
Yeah.
I gotta go. But thanks for having me on, and I appreciate everybody for listening to my rant. I actually, people are saying like you should get mad more frequently. I actually am. I actually am mad a lot of times. I'm just quietly seething underneath. I try my best to be like level-headed and reasonable, but after the last couple of displays, I'm just like, really, I just need to let off the steam, because fucking.
Because your baby didn't score. Oh, okay, I get it. I see.
What's that? Your baby was what? A header again? that header chant. Yeah. By the way, it's called football. You actually score goals with your feet because Kane doesn't know how to. So, anyways, no. Okay, but actually, here's the thing. I do have one last rant before I go. People that are constantly, whether Twitter, YouTube, whatever, they're constantly being like calling people a Sun fan or a Kane fan. Guess what? They're both Spurs players. Like, get over it. We're fans of all of them, and if you don't agree with them, they're constantly. I know you're not. You know, I'm not counting you, Will. But no. And then people that if you don't agree with them, they're constantly questioning, like, oh well, you know, you're not a true fan, or you're not like a real fan, because like our fan base right now is like super divided. So the thing with it is like, even though I disagree with like a lot of people what they're saying out there right now, I'm not about to get personal, and like everybody I see is just like, you know, you're not a real fan. You're not a true fan because you think this way, or you don't know ball because you think this way, or because, you know, you're American, you don't know ball, or because you don't think that, you know, Kane is as great. You know, you're not a true fan, or like, you know, or you're just a Sun fan, and that's the only reason why you think he's great. Like, seriously, like, everybody needs to just stop with that kind of shit, because it's not about getting personal about it, and that's like annoying the shit out of me right now. So, anyways, but yeah,
Okay,
Conte in,
cubes.
Conte in, yeah, Conte in. Get
Steak.
off of free kicks. Bye.
Later, Cube.
I hate
Eating
that.
steak.
I hate fucking people that like try and police the way people support anything. Like, it's no, people. You support what you want, how you want, and that's the end of it. You know what I mean?
No, you support exactly how I tell you. Otherwise, get lost.
Or just attack the argument.
I guess I'm lost, Will.
When you're in a debate, attack the argument, not the person. I mean, that's if you disagree, talk about why you disagree. So give evidence to support your claims. Don't attack the other person. Don't make it personal.
Steak nose ball.
Don't call people fake fans. You know,
See,
Kieran,
I've never
ever. My world.
I would never say that to anyone, though. Like, it doesn't
I've
matter
never-
whether you've
I've
been
never
supporting
called
the
anyone
club
fake fan.
a week, a year, 10 years, 20 years. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, as long as if you're supporting the club, you're supporting the club. It is what it fucking is.
Well, Will, I have to say as well, Will, do you know what the first thing I thought of when the final whistle went?
So,
fuck my life.
No. That's 3 points. That's not getting us to 90. I'm not getting a tattoo.
Gonna get that guy.
I was thinking, Will.
Will's getting the tat.
Will.
Wait, hold on. Will, did you say we were gonna finish with 90 points?
No. So I called 86 to 89, right? And then we were talking about something that's like, if we gained at least 2 points from every team in the top 4, or top 6 rather, and we beat the rest of the teams, that's 90 points, right? So Brian says it's never happened. I'm like, well, it's possible. So the bet is, if the Tottenham gets less than 86 points, I got to get a Tot tattoo. And if we get 90 points or more, Brian's got to get my face.
Well, Will,
tattooed
start thinking about where you're gonna put that tattoo, Will.
For once,
there's no way we're getting 86.
Is there a steak tattoo, Will?
And 86 between 86 and 90 is the free zone.
But for once, I thought, do you know what? The gods have got to be on my favour. but I've been fooled twice already. But I think I'm safe with this one.
I think it's a bad reason to be safe.
Brian, I don't want you to get divorced, so please don't make another tattoo.
Oh no, do you know what? She's actually fine with these ones. She gets a little bit annoyed, but she's like, Brian, this is your body. When we get old, and I think that the Tottenham tour one, I think it was my 13th or 14th tattoo. Apart from this one, which obviously the Conte one, all of them have got like proper special meanings, like my grandparents, Star of David, quotes about me in rehab. They're all like symbolic. And then like when I get to 70, 80 years old and my skin's wrinkling, and I've got We Are Tottenham TV and Tottenham on tour, and maybe Will Stewart. Yeah, then it's not going to look too good.
Then it's not going to look too good.
I can honestly say none of my tattoos have any symbolic meaning, and I don't give a fuck what they look like when I'm 80. I'll be dribbling through a score.
This one
anyway.
was literally. This one was literally just wall flash.
Yeah.
23rd birthday, was drunk. Was about ready to go to Korea for the first time. I mean, I guess there is a memory that's there, right?
Yeah.
But I hate it now. And not only that, but I use like prime tattoo real estate to get.
Yeah.
You kind of did.
I literally ruined my whole entire left arm, right? Like there's not much I can do unless I want to go full tribal on my left arm, which I'm not tribal, right? So I guess I could pull off Celtic maybe with this, but
Yeah.
Oh, you can cover that up with all sorts. You wouldn't need to be tribal. Like, yeah, if you get a good enough artist, they'll be able to cover it.
yeah, but I mean that's what
Make it into a state.
I want to do it, but every time I put together my own drawings, right? I asked my wife, what should I get? She's like, I don't care, just don't get animals, right? So I'm like, okay, no animals. So I tried it, and every time I show her, she's like, no. And she's like, I don't really care, just do whatever you want. And then I'll show her, and she's like, no. I'm like, well, obviously, if you keep telling me no, you care. So either help me, or I'm just gonna do whatever I gotta do, and you're just gonna have to deal with it.
At some point, dude, just pull the fucking trigger once it's
Because
there.
I gotta get rid. I gotta do something here, right? Like, because I have something there.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Will,
but just
it's funny because that is, I swear I've seen that exact same tattoo as a tramp stamp before.
Stake away.
Yeah, it's literally just wall flash, dude. Like you literally just go to it was like you go to a tattoo store and they have all that flash on the wall.
Yeah.
It was like, so what happened was the bar that we used to be regulars at, there was a we got two Rexes now. Let me pull the other one out.
sorry.
Raw.
We've got, huh? No, you're good. We've got, so anyway, the bar that we were regulars at, we used to go there almost like, 4 or 5 times a week. A tattoo shop opened up, like just that whole that week, and so there was brand new. And it was like my 23rd birthday, and I was getting ready to go. My birthday is September 30th, and I was leaving to go to Korea in October 20th, right? So we're talking like a month before I was leaving. So we were just we were all out drinking. I was like, let's go get a tattoo. So we went next door, walked out of the bar. You're not supposed to get tattoos when you're drunk, but did anyway. And that's what it was. So
Why are you flexing your triceps?
when I turn my arm, that's what happens. It's not flexing. That's a flex.
Actually, Dietrich, talking about flexing and muscle, did you know Dwayne The Rock Johnson was in Toronto this week and I've gone fucking nuts? Mate,
Yeah, I saw it.
Mate,
Yeah, I saw it.
I literally...
It's about steak. It's about steak.
Mate, honestly, I have an obsession with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I think he
And
was in Montreal too.
Mate, literally, I was downtown at the Scotland Yard watching the European Champions League win against Frankfurt. Didn't think anything of it. There's a big commotion downtown because where the Scotland Yard is, it's quite near Maple Leaf Gardens, whatever the name of the stadium is. But then literally a couple of days ago, I'm just sitting here with Ilana, and she goes, "Oh, Brian, did you hear The Rock was in Toronto?" I'm like, "What? You're telling me this now?" I was like 10 minutes away from him, and he was downtown all that week doing things. Because he was promoting Black Adam.
Yeah, he
and I was living downtown. I was looking after a friend's flat downtown. I was 10 minutes away from him the whole fucking time.
He was at the
had
Air
close
Canada.
enough to smell what he
was cooking.
Oh,
He
mate,
was
I
at the
would've-
Air Canada Center where the Maple Leafs play.
Yep,
He was there.
Good. I'm so happy. Mate, I was fuming.
People are going. Apparently, there's a guy named Harry Jackson in the chat who's triggering people on Sun. But I haven't been paying attention to the chat, to be honest with you, unless you guys at me or something like that. But yeah, just leave the puppies alone. I mean, that's what they do. But anyway, if you're saying Ji-Sun Park is a better footballer than Sun, then you don't know football. So
That's crazy. Come on.
Well, Park was good.
He was very good, but
he was
He's
good.
nowhere near Sun.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. But like, he used to be allowed. He didn't get the respect he deserved, personally.
So, who did everyone think our best player on the day was?
Kane.
Bentancur.
Kane or Bentancur?
Yeah, Kane and Bentancur, I think. were probably the best today.
Kane second, yeah.
I thought Skippy started quite brightly.
Yeah, Skip started, but didn't do anything in the second half.
Well,
To be honest with you, I haven't even looked at SofaScore yet today.
Bentancur was trying. He was trying his best. You know, he was
what we want.
starting a press. He was all over. Yeah, he was a bit all over the shop, but at least he was bloody trying. I didn't see much out of other players.
See, I'm not a football expert, but our press confuses me.
We press as a team.
No, it's only
no, but like
that presses.
we don't. Half of us do, half of us don't. Like fucking.
Well, Jay, haven't you realised what we've done all season is we all come out and say we need a really fast start, and we do for about 12 minutes, and then we just go, oh yeah, we've done it for, we've had a fast start now. Let's just sit back and just let them dominate us.
Looks like Harry Kane was man of the meme match today.
Can you repeat that? I didn't hear properly.
I thought it said, looks like Harry Kane was man of the me match today.
Okay.
And
dying at a 7.
So
scores a
at least, not joking. How did Hugo get a 5?
I wonder. I wonder how Hugo got a 5.
I can see how Bentancur's sitting on a 7 point.
Dyer has a 7.
There's Emerson with a steak on the screen.
Do you realize Seth has the second best rating and he was actually dog shit?
No, Bentancur has second best rating.
Oh, that's
what. No, I mean third
clearances. He's such a clearance merchant, man. All he does is stand in the box and head.
He just heads it with his big head.
Yeah,
that counts.
And he usually heads it right back to the opposition.
There's Bryce.
Oh man.
Oh, is he here?
Yeah.
He's a clearance merchant. It's the only thing he's good
aerial duels. But man, did he lose possession a lot today? 20 freaking times.
Exactly.
Bro.
Keeps on heading it back.
Had quite a bit of long balls. 20 different long balls that he tried to attempt. That's where he's getting those numbers from.
Only 8 accurate.
But hold on, what I'm saying is, if you have those kind of numbers, 19 for 8 out of long balls and 9 clearances, and you only come out with a 7, that means you've been shit, right?
Yeah,
that doesn't mean you've been good.
But I just don't understand the pass that he did to Hugo. Like, what in his mind got to him? Like, how? Like, how can you pass like that to a goalkeeper? I've never seen that in football in my life. Even at Sunday League, it doesn't
Lloris
happen.
is declining. It's just it's time for him to move on. This is his
start eating steak.
Yeah, see, here's the difference. Like, you got only 64 touches, a few block shots.
Can you score?
And you got
But people want to talk about his. They want to talk about his ball playing.
Assist.
His ball playing abilities.
Does it have dribbled past?
Yeah, I got dribbled past twice.
Yeah. I mean, we made Miguel Almiron, who came from MLS.
He's fast though. Almiron's had a good season last season too.
We made him look brilliant. I mean, he was great today. Because
we
of how
do that
poor
to a
we
lot.
were.
Yeah, but we make a lot of teams look better than that.
Even Joe Linton, we made him look good.
Yeah, every single time we play them, Joe Linton looks like fucking prime Ronaldinho. So.
It's insane. It's just because it's any player with pace. Any player with pace who can make a clever run every now and then. You don't
when
even
do
have
we play Liverpool? Because they need a win. But when are we helping them?
I think it's like 2 games.
Weekend. November 5th, we play Liverpool.
We play Bournemouth.
Tottenham will be in the fucking house.
We need a good win, though.
Yeah, Bournemouth, Liverpool.
Wait, Bournemouth, Liverpool?
Yeah, they play
it's Bournemouth,
it's
Liverpool.
next weekend. Yeah,
yeah, we play Champions League in between it as well. So
yep.
Halloween day
I might finally meet Brian.
You do what with Brian?
Hopefully,
I might meet Brian in Toronto.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm gonna be out of town that week. Unfortunately, I was gonna go up to Toronto. I had my passport card ready and everything, man.
I remember you telling me after the United game.
Yeah, I got my passport card ready and everything, but
it's gonna be mad at the Scotland Yard on that game.
Well, you guys have cards.
It's gonna be
dude. If you cross the border, you only need a card, man. If you cross the border by car, I was gonna stay in New York and then drive into or fly into
Kieran,
New
you
York
should
and then
come
drive into.
I was gonna say I'm actually closer than Will. I'm definitely within driving.
You're about
distance.
12-hour drive, probably.
I just gotta get my passport because I've never applied for a passport. So
Yeah,
I-
that
Do
might
it
help.
online right now up until
It's
November.
gonna take a while, but
Yeah, it's not going to take
yeah.
2 weeks.
No, yeah, 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, no, I won't be able to make it for that. But I do want to at some point come up there and go to the Scotland Yard because DC Spurs is not as good as that group from what.
What's the expected goals of the passport?
Expected goals on
You know what?
passport.
I don't know how he comes up with these things. But there's times when it's not needed, but when they're good,
Look,
they're
I'm not
brilliant.
I'm not an XG fan.
He's funny. Alex is funny.
I don't like it. I don't understand why people hold XG against me. That's not even a stat, bro.
But you love XG.
No, I don't. I like goals minus XG. I think it's a good comparison to see
And
how
what
players
was
perform.
Son's XG when you
Yeah,
moved the one-on-one?
I agree with Will. I think XG as a standalone figure isn't actually all that. Doesn't
It's
tell
not
you
value.
much.
It doesn't tell you anything.
But if you look at their goals against their XG, how much they're scoring above or below, yeah.
How are
Passes
they
completed in
actually
the cup.
performing compared to what the statisticians say they should be doing? Right. That's the argument. That's the only time that I use XG. G minus XG or MPG minus XG is the only statistic that
How
I value.
about key
XG.
passes while driving?
Key passes while driving. Key passes are important. You guys don't think key passes are important?
Eugenia's got to be the world leader in that stat for sure.
I don't like X anything. Like expected assist or dumb. I mean, I guess you could say
that one makes a lot of sense.
the only value that gives you is maybe to say, is the player creating quality passes, right? So making smart decisions. But that's it.
If only he was in the galaxy far, far away. Oh, that's a funny tweet. No, Brian. Every single day is Levy out day.
Yeah, just send it to you, Will.
Okay, I've got to make a move.
Where are you moving
to? No, I've got to go.
Teasing you.
Big up, Shane. Shane, see you later, buddy.
Have a good rest of the stream. I'll see you all later.
See you later, Shane, buddy.
Steak.
All right, man.
And well, what is the XG site that you use? What's it called again?
So SofaScore.
No, I mean SofaScore FBref has that's the one that looks like spreadsheets. That's the one I prefer. Or understat.com. If you like graphics, it'll show you like actual locations and stuff like that. But like in like understat, like when you get into like FPL type statistics, you get really into, because they're trying to predict in the future how a player is going to perform, which understat.com is an FPL based site, right? That's what it's for. Fantasy football. So you do get a lot of this expected threat, expected build up, this type of a thing, because the goal of that, the purpose of that, is trying to predict next week which players are going to perform in order to get you points, right? So there's a lot of analytics that are involved. I don't really get into that world if I'm not just looking at FP. Like, I don't apply that to the real world. The only stats I like are hard numbers. They're actual statistics, right? Goals, key passes, assists, right? Shot creating actions, goal creating actions. Those are facts. Touches, carries, misses, dispossessions, right? Those are real things. They're not fake. Right? It's what you see in the game.
Yeah.
So,
like heat maps too. That's another one people complain about all the time. Like,
yeah,
how can you complain about a heat map?
It's literally just where they were.
Yeah, it literally just shows where they were standing, running around on the pitch. Like, how can you get mad about that?
Well, for our position.
Because people don't understand it, right? When they don't understand things, they tend to shit on it. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately. But we don't have any mods in the chat. You guys got to start either like showing or this or whatever. If it's not horribly, like if you have players, but like if somebody says shit in the chat, I don't care. You can allow that. I don't really see that many mods in the chat right now, though.
Hey, Will,
Scott.
Will, is there still two of me up on the screen? Do I need to leave?
No, you're good, man. I pulled the other one out.
Oh, good. Thanks for that. Right.
But we got a tweet. Did you want me to share the tweet, Brian?
Yeah, you can. It's my new emoji I made for him. You can share it. Why not? Why not? As
It's
you
a
know,
snake.
no. I'm prone to spreading the love in the Daniel Levy world.
Alex, do you have Twitter?
Everyone,
Brian Daigle says, if only he was in a galaxy far, far away. Is that Aleister Crowley?
I've got no idea. Someone sent it to me. I asked them to do something.
Aleister Crowley.
I just liked it for the bottom bit that they put in, which you just
Emperor
about to see.
Levy the Spenless.
Spence is trending.
But that's not even like a Star Wars character. That's like Aleister Crowley,
I
who's like
don't
from the
care,
Church
mate. He
of
doesn't
Satan.
look like
isn't
he's
it?
due on this planet. Daniel Levy, you see where I'm going with this? Jesus Christ!
But you could have at least gone, with the Star Wars Emperor.
It looks like he's a person you find in the shop just drinking the blood out of the steak and just doesn't buy it.
Look, just base it. I don't know how he got a stake into this. You're a comedic genius, Alex. Why don't you go on Britain's Got Talent and just go
State's
steak?
Got Talent.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Why is Bryce?
Just whatever
on
Simon
mine?
Cowell says, just say something.
Okay, I'll make Bryce a mod.
Well,
Simon
why don't you make me a mod, for God's sake?
I don't know. Are you in there?
I have been in there
I'll
today.
type something.
You should be a mod already. Why
I haven't been though. I've been hurt, mate. I was gonna report you to HR, but I didn't know where your HR department was.
Mixed Coffee should be a mod too. Why are all these people not mods?
You know what? If I've got the blue spanner now, I'm gonna make Alex
You
very
do.
happy.
You got it. You got a spanner.
Okay. Alex, have a look
The
at my
Span
message.
Hammer. Ben KC should be a mod. How are all these members not mods?
That's great. Hey, Rex, a little non-football question for you. How do you feel about the All Blacks being ranked 4th right now? It seems a little harsh, isn't it?
No, that's genuinely where they deserve to be at the moment.
They did win the rugby championship this year.
Yeah, well, that's not a competition I place much emphasis upon, really. No, they lost the series to Ireland and lost games to South Africa, so lost to someone else too, lost to Argentina, so no, they deserve to be 4th.
Interesting. Okay.
Rex, the World Cup's in England, isn't it, when it's starting? Am I right?
The World Cup next year, I think, is going to be in France.
Why do
I
I
could
think
be
it was in
wrong.
England, or it was meant to be during COVID? I think it got postponed. Sure, it was meant to be in England. No,
Maybe you're right.
I've only watched one Rugby World Cup game in
we're
my
talking
life,
about rugby.
and
Yeah,
that's when we beat South Africa with Johnny Wilkinson. That's the only game I've ever watched.
Yeah, that French team with a home World Cup, though, they're going to be hard to beat for sure. I'll probably bet on France to win it next.
Yeah, I don't know about rugby.
Yeah.
Is he
I don't watch rugby.
Is he lagged out? Rex, you there?
Yeah, it looks like froze.
Oh, yeah.
Froze McDose.
You have to freeze a steak then.
That's the
I'm sure I'll join back.
That's the sport I retreat to when I get fed up with Spurs and then my local football club. I retreat to rugby.
Well, steak
When I
is
can't
so
handle it.
funny. You're actually so funny.
Members, if you're a member and you don't have a mod, make sure you let me know.
I don't have mod.
You're not a member.
Oh.
Just kidding. But
Sorry about that. I just pressed the wrong button. I don't know what I was doing there.
happens all the time, dude. Charlie kills the whole stream. Mr. K did that too back here on this channel a long time ago.
And Colin's done it.
Yeah. But
Stream killers, the worst.
Well,
we got about 15 minutes left in today's show. So final thoughts before we go. I don't know why I'm
I hope Dyer leaves this.
Dyer out. I can't stand it anymore. I really can't.
When's our next game? Tuesday? Hopefully it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, but
British
if we play on Sunday, it's always Wednesday. If we play on Saturday, it's Tuesday. So,
but
Watching Tottenham on a Wednesday. We eat steak all of them.
What's worrying me at the moment?
Go ahead, Rick. Sorry.
What's worrying me at the moment is that a number of players have now played 8 consecutive games. They've started in 8 consecutive games. So they played 8 games in about 22 days, if I've added it up right. Kane and Son have all started those games. Bentancur, Dyer, I think, Lloris. There's about 5 or 6 of them have played all 8 games since we got back from that international break in 22 days. And probably they'll all start again on Wednesday against Sporting Lisbon. And so
I agree.
I mean, really, they're being run into the ground. And if I was a national coach of England and South Korea and so on, I'd be just pulling my hair out seeing my best players run into the ground prior to the World Cup. And I think Conte is risking some injury with these guys. I know he promised rotation, and his answer will be there's not the players in the squad to rotate with. But at the moment, he's just going to run these guys into the ground and risk serious injury for them. That's my fear.
Rex, he promised rotation. The board promised a great window. It's just, mate. It's just, mate. Listen, this is what it's becoming. And now, from when I was on We Are Tottenham TV, Romero, apparently he has got an injury, and it is worse than first feared. He may not appear, but you guarantee that it will start for Argentina. Guarantee it will start for Argentina. It's always happens around.
No, he's done
Argentina
tooling. He is done tooling.
Yeah, you won't see Romero till the.
You won't see him until the World Cup.
Guaranteed.
This is it, and this is it. We got our best defender probably out to the World Cup. Our only creative player out to the World Cup. The player we bought in as a left back, as a left striker or a right striker that's now playing on the right wing because the right winger is injured, but doesn't play right wing for his club or country. He's injured. We have 4 right wing backs. We play the one that's a right back, not a right wing back. Our left wing back that we bought that's world class can't settle, so we're playing a guy that can't cross. Eric Dyer, just and a partridge in a pear tree. Welcome to Tottenham.
Yeah.
But I have a question. I know we have so many injuries, but what are we not seeing more youngsters from the U23s that might?
Because they're terrible. Because have you checked them at all? Have you watched how this team has done? Other than Divine, that team is terrible. Our academy is bad. They've been. Go and look at their record. Go and look at that U23 team's record in the PL2. They've been awful. They've blown leads, and this is against players of the same age and supposedly the same level. Other than Divine, most of them are absolutely useless and will never play for Tottenham in the first year.
I personally think Divine will play against Nottingham Forest. Not from the start.
He probably
not from
will.
the start. Yeah. He will get minutes. Spence will get minutes, obviously. But it's got to the point where I was saying this on the Late Show. With the way we're going after the World Cup, I wouldn't mind seeing Alfie Divine called up to the first team squad.
I agree.
And put on the bench. Now people will know how long I've been waxing lyrical about Alfie. You look at people.
How old is he?
He turned 18 on October the 1st. August the 1st, sorry. Not that I'm stalking him or anything. But he
play him in one of those 2 number 10 positions.
Mate, he's the creativity that we need. Listen, people have played youngsters. James Milner started as a 15-year-old. There are youngsters that have come in and done it. And don't get me wrong, there's some players that don't do it. But someone
Alfie Divine is better than Brian Hill. I'd rather see him play than Brian Hill.
But even Harvey White is not playing too, and he was playing well at left wing back.
Yeah, he was on the bench yesterday. But I think with that, it's when you see Harvey White, Dietrich, to me that just feels like in pre-season I got it, but you're putting him on there, it's just to fill the subs bench.
Yeah,
he ain't getting on unless there's a catastrophe like a bad injury or whatever. But Alfie needs to get in there.
I know Harvey White might not be the best player that we have, but we're seeing Sess not being better. We see Perisic not being better. Try something new, maybe. Maybe it might become good. It might.
I think he could play at that left wing back spot, but
yeah,
I do worry about the speed of the game. I mean, the highest level he's played at is League One. So, I worry if he can handle the speed. I mean,
What?
well, and let's be honest, if Conte's not going to play Jed Spence, then he's not going to play Harvey White.
Yeah, but those players will cost him his job. They will.
Well, here's the thing. You say that, but the problem is, and this is what Mikel Arteta at Arsenal did not have to deal with. Conte has to build this project while also getting top 4. Because if he fails to get top 4, then he's sacked. So he can't afford to take gambles on young players because he needs to guarantee that we get enough points in the league to get top 4, because they will absolutely sack him if he does not get top 4.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22, and this is the thing. And this is why I'm upset about there are some fair criticisms you can make of him, like game management, in-game management, and timing of substitutions. I think there's fair criticism there. But in terms of the players he chooses to start and be on the bench, what else is he going to do? He really doesn't have any other options. Because if he does start playing young players and we start dropping points, he can get sacked. If we don't get top 4, he's likely to get sacked, or at least not be offered another contract. So,
Kieran, don't worry. You can get a bar poured quicker than any other pub in the Premier League. And it comes out from the bottom. That's what matters.
Yep.
That's what matters. After the game and we lose, or at half-time when you need to grab a pint, you can get that very quickly.
Yeah.
But we can't make a substitution.
Well, you need it to drink away your depression.
Mate,
after
this is why you
spent that much money to go see what we've been seeing.
Do you know how many people who I meet, like at Toronto Spurs or whatever, when I meet them for the first time, and they're like, "Do you want a beer?" And I'm like, "I can't. I'm an alcoholic." And they go, "What? And you're a Spurs fan?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. It really doesn't help. It really doesn't
Eat steak.
help." Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm a steakaholic as well, but that has very good effects on me. But yeah, it's
it'll bind you if you eat too much.
You get gout if you don't eat too much meat. So.
There you go. Welcome to see Will. You're now branching into medical on Will 365.
I think
Right. Like and subscribe, Will Stewart 365. It rhymes too. Look at that.
Sounds like Talk Sport.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
TalkSport was TalkSport 365.
So what do you think will be the starting lineup against Sporting Lisbon midweek? Who do you think will play for us?
I just wanted to say, Rex, in terms of like what you're talking about, playing these players through all these games, I think Conte's plan right now, if I was going to guess, put all the players out, go all for that game at Sporting. I think he even held players, I think he kind of, I think some of the game decisions today were to save energy for Sporting. I think he's going to go all out for that because we win that, we qualify, period. So it doesn't matter what happens in Marseille. And I think in Marseille, you'll see a very heavily rotated team if we win.
Yeah, that's great.
In Sporting. I think you'll see Tanganga. I think you'll see Oliver Skip. I think you'll see all of the players who have been. I think Jed Spence might even play at Marseille as well. Because I think that's the plan. If we can win this game, we qualify. That Marseille away game, it doesn't matter what
I think we'll smash Sporting.
No, but you have to win. You have to at least get a draw, Marcel, because you want to finish first in that group.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I honestly think that when it weighed between possibly injuring one of your best players who are exhausted and finishing second in the group and still getting out, I think he'd rather finish second in the group than lose Son, Kane, or somebody else to injury.
I prefer to go top.
Me too. I prefer getting top. You go all out.
That's why you guys are here and not elite world-class trophy-winning managers. So.
Yeah.
Well, I would top of the group in a group that you don't play the next group over is
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Pointless.
It's irrelevant. Was just bragging rights? Ooh.
Exactly.
No, but you might play against a good team.
No, you can't. It's a draw, bro. They draw. It doesn't matter
it's
who.
Random. Yeah.
No, but you're gonna...
I thought you get some teams if you get second.
No, it's a draw.
No. I'm sure.
Okay.
No, I'm sure. But when you get through first, all the teams that finish first go in one pot, and all the teams that go in second go in another pot.
Exactly.
And they draw it
That's
like
what I was
that.
thinking.
Yeah.
So there is a. It's not like the World Cup where it depends on what group goes on. You play the winner of Group A and Group B. literally all of the winning seeded will also because also what they get is home advantage in the second leg.
Yeah.
So literally, it will be all the teams that finish top in Group 1 or in one pot, and all the teams that finish in Group 2 in another, and bang.
Just to give you a clarification, if we finish second, you might play Napoli, you might play Bayern.
True.
That's not or
Right,
even
but I mean, you can't play.
Madrid.
You can't play teams from your own country.
No, but we don't care about the other
So
countries.
that limits what you can play against. But I mean,
So
Yeah,
if
but yeah.
I'm playing Liverpool or Chelsea at this point.
I'd rather
Are
play
you sure,
Benfica.
Will, that you can't play a team from your own country? Because Brian just did all the first
not until I want to say quarterfinals.
Yeah, quarter semis. Yeah.
Round of 16, round of 32. It has to be a different country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
The
good.
only countries we're not allowed to play are Liverpool, Chelsea, and City.
Yeah,
and that's
Yeah,
only 3.
and honestly, those 3 teams scare me more than a
Are you-
lot of the foreign
No,
teams.
no,
And well,
Napoli.
you know why? Not because they're better, but because of Spurs' weak mentality. We're terrified of the other Premier League clubs.
Do
We're
you wanna play
terrified of
Bayern?
those other big. No, I don't want to play. But of course I don't. They're and
Steak Royale would score a hat trick against a dead team.
Listen to what I'm saying. I think that despite Bayern and Real Madrid being better than the 3 Premier League teams who are also in the Champions League, I think Spurs are more likely to put in a performance against Bayern or Real than we are against Chelsea. You know,
just
I
to
feel
let
if we
you
play
know as
Chelsea,
well,
we just shit ourselves.
Just so you know, I've just googled it and I was right, and it's basically the 8 group winners are seeded, and the 8 group runners are unseeded. The seeded teams were drawn against unseeded teams, with the seeded teams hosting the second leg. So,
oh yeah.
So
yeah, I mean they split up into 2 pots.
Yep.
First place, second place, and then they draw from there. But
Yep.
there are other rules that are regarded in there.
Oh yeah,
as well.
you're right. Until the quarterfinals, we can't play Chelsea, United,
City, Liverpool,
and Chelsea.
And
the
honestly,
second place teams are easy to beat. They're actually really easy.
yeah, but let's be honest. Who cares? We're not going to win. We're not going to win the Champions
We're
League
in
anyway.
there to win it.
So it's better off that we get Bayern in the first knockout round getting knocked out than we make it all the way to the semifinal and then lose. You know, it's better that we get knocked out earlier.
If you're in a,
I'd rather get knocked out earlier for the league.
Exactly.
If you're looking at cup competitions in the league, look, I'd rather play the hardest team in the competition in that first round of 16.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather go all out.
Why? Go to the final and lose again? Fuck that.
No.
It's
I'm not saying
it's a cup competition.
It's a cup, it's a competition. Exactly. If you're in it, you have to go all out. Even if
so
it's
beat the hardest team first, and then you have an easy run.
Exactly.
Who did we beat when you went to the final?
I mean, logically, if you can beat Bayern or Real, you should be able to beat anybody after that.
We went fine.
And imagine the confidence it would give us if we actually did draw Bayern or Real right off the bat and beat them. Then you're talking about, well, maybe we can go on a run and win the tournament.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
I want to know first game. I want to know whether or not we have a serious chance or not.
Yeah. The thing is, we don't play this round of 16 game. We don't play the round of 16 game until February, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
I think Emerson Royale would pocket Vinicius Junior.
Emerson Royale couldn't pocket Vinicius.
We beat Dortmund, and then the quarterfinals we beat City, Ajax.
Yeah, City. You know they're gonna choke in the Champions. So
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, right? That City, both that quarterfinal and those semifinal wins were probably my 2 best memories as a Spurs fan. Like this,
that was amazing.
Let's repeat it again.
Right? But just the drama for those 2 games as well. It was just insane.
Son was unreal. Son was totally unplayable, man. He was insane.
What you got to remember, Will, as well, is especially against Ajax, the night before, Liverpool did the comeback against Barcelona, didn't they? They were 3-0 down and won 4-3. It was like, surely 2 English teams can't do it in the same kind of style. I mean, the way we did it eclipsed it because of the sheer manner. But because obviously everyone will remember that Liverpool game for Trent Alexander taking that quick corner to Origi and he getting that fourth. But yeah, that was madness. That game was sheer madness.
Yeah, and you see, if you go far in the Champions League, it might happen. We might get lucky.
Yeah.
Even with
Bryce-
Conte, if you tell me we
Bryce
go
has
to
a question
final
for
and we
you.
have Conte,
It's a question.
I know we're gonna win.
Bryce has a question for Steak. When you have a meal consisting of sausage, do you feel like he's cheating on you with his precious steak? And follow-up question: how does he make it up to the steak?
Don't eat the sausage.
I ate sausage today. I had
Wait.
an apple Gouda sausage today. It was really good.
Is it even possible to live in England and not eat sausage?
I had four.
Isn't that like
4 links?
Isn't that like half of all English? Like
Yeah,
food
but
and
just
sausages?
hold on. Just to
That's
be
just
clear,
Greg's.
though, as someone that's currently living in Canada but is from England or Britain or Great Britain or whatever the fuck you want to call it, your sausages over here suck.
Oh, thank you, Jason. Thank you,
I'm
Jason.
sorry, you can't even make a fucking.
Whoa! What sausage are you eating?
Yeah, you
Oh my
can't.
You guys live in Canada,
I've-
by the way.
I've
Do
tried
not.
I've tried.
my
them.
God.
Y'all live in
No.
Canada, by the way. I'm just saying.
I'm willing to bet any amount of money you want. Your sausages ain't no fucking better.
Oh
either.
yeah.
I bet they are.
Jay, honestly, when we've had sausages here and Ilana's cooked and we sat down, I've taken one bite.
kind
and
of
I said, what
sausage?
the fuck is this?
You name
So-
it. I've tried them. I've got a local butcher's down the road that makes his own that everyone was ranting about. I tried them. There was the apple and pork and the venison one. They're all just fucking
Mate,
garbage. They
you
get the
can't beat the
ratios
chocolate.
all fucking wrong,
Yeah,
man.
you can't beat the compliment. Mate, it's even the casing.
Dude,
Jay, it's
even the
outside.
cheapest Walls banger you can buy is better than the fucking expensive
Or
shit
maybe
they
your
sell
guys'
over here.
sausages over there are just like junk garbage.
Well,
you know, Frank
Canada
hot
is
dogs
not
or
made
something.
for it's not made for sausages.
Will.
Only hot dogs.
Will,
It's
what
like-
would you?
Jay, it's like our
Oh,
bacon.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like our bacon, the back bacon we get back home compared to the
I
street
know.
stuff.
I know, right? You can't
Well-
fucking buy it for no money over here.
What place in the U.S. is like probably biggest known for sausage? What like?
I mean,
what
you
would be
got.
the
It
sausage
depends on where you go. You're gonna go to German communities for sausages usually. So
Cincinnati?
That's where you're
Yeah.
going wrong. That's where you're going wrong right now. Fucking German sausages.
Mate, you can't beat
I
a
think-
Cumberland.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
most
Cumberland's good.
Americans in terms of like sausage, other than like this just typical, it would probably be like German or Polish sausage, right? It was like
yeah,
or
bratwurst.
Italian.
Right, I'm telling you, until you've been to Britain and had a proper fucking sausage, you don't know.
I
Like a
You
spotted
don't
dick.
know.
I'll take your word for it. I'm
Do you
looking
know,
for it.
what?
Like a good spotted dick.
With Jay, I'll
No,
say a lot of
that's-
things.
that's a pudding.
Living over here, I would
Or
say
afters.
a majority of the food is a million times better over here. And I mean the quality of it, the standard of it, the portions of it.
Here, I
The
disagree.
things that cannot get right for us being English, and I know Jason's going to agree with everything I just said. Bacon, sausage, curry.
Yeah,
Everything
Hold on.
else.
The bacon here is smoked. You have to think that thin sliced bacon that you get, so that's smoked bacon. You're not talking just straight up pork belly. If you want like thick sliced bacon, you
No,
just
we're
need to
not-
go to the store and get pork belly.
No,
No.
that's not what he's saying.
That's not like I said.
Brian, you eat pork?
Oh hell yeah! I'm
I thought you were Jewish.
I am Jewish, mate. I am Jewish. Hey, I'm not meant to have tattoos. I'm not going to have tattoos. And my mum hates my tattoos. And when she saw my first one, I went fucking mad. And I was screaming at my dad, who was next to me, asking her to read the Hebrew that was there. She went, "Why have you got a tattoo? You can't be buried in a Jewish grave. We have to come out of this world the way we come in." And I turned around to my mum and said, "Well, why did you get my knob cut after 8 days?" And then her jaw just dropped to the floor. And she was like, "Off you go." She's like, and then she goes, "You know, you can't get buried with it. They're going to be cut out of you." I was like, "I'll be dead. Do you think I care?"
Cut them out. I don't. Skin me
Cut 'em out.
alive. I don't care. Laser me up.
Right, some of mine are good enough. I want
It's a steak.
Straight. There are.
Just laser them off. You know, look at laser technology nowadays. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's incredible. One of my mates.
Well,
does.
Brian, I
Yes.
I had
disagree
my
with
one and
you.
only tattoo, Brian might know, at famous Razuk's tattoo parlor in the Christian quarter of Jerusalem, if you know where that is.
Yeah, I spent most of my time in Israel drunk. When I went to Jerusalem, it was to go to the Western Wall and then find the nearest bar. Yeah, all of my tattoos I've had, apart from 1, 2, 3, 4. So 10 of my tattoos have been done in England, and 4 have been done in Canada.
But Brian, when you say the food here is good, I disagree. I think it's garbage.
Oh
in
no, mate!
Canada.
No.
I don't like it. I actually don't like. Compared to Europe, it's not good here.
I think the quality when you go to a restaurant here, and the actual quality of the produce itself, I think it's a lot better here. The thing I don't like about even when I go for a curry, and me and Jason talk about curries and the difference back here and back home all the time. The meat itself that you have in the curry here is better. But what you don't do here compared to back home is the spices aren't as cooked with as much aggression. That's the difference for me.
I thought English food was bland.
It's because you're in
No,
Canada.
that's a fallacy, though. When you look at the amount of cultures in England now, English food isn't English food.
Well, same with the
anymore.
American food, right? There's no American
Right, it's
food.
English. It's just English food is not bland anymore. I think the most eaten food in England's still curry, isn't it? Or it was 14 years ago when I was there.
It's Scottish.
I think one of the things too, you gotta make sure you differentiate between Canada and the U.S. because we have different food safety standards. So in the U.S., a lot of our food is like filled with all sorts of like fake crap and
Depends on what you do and where you go. If you go to
plastics and like
but nowadays though, like that's the sucky part about America right now. Nowadays you can't go anywhere. Everything's grass fed and organic BS bull crap. It costs you like 7 times the price.
Yeah, well that's the whole thing, right? All the cheap food is filled with all the junk, and if you want something that's actually legit, then you got to pay an arm and a leg
out the ass for it.
Yeah.
But like I have a Butcher Box subscription. I mean I pay $170 a month for like 8 pounds of meat or something like that.
Yeah, I'm lucky. My stepfather actually owns cattle, and so all the beef I get
butchered up, buy a whole
it's
cow.
literally local. Owned by him. He
should probably do that. Just go out and buy a whole cow.
Yeah, I mean, and if you just roll that over and you just butcher one a year, you're set. In terms of beef, you're set for a year, and you'll have extra to give away to people. And
my dad does it too. But I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, if you've never had a good deer summer sausage, you ain't never had a sausage. I'm telling you right now.
I hate sausages. I don't like it.
Deer sausage, like a good one. I don't know. I don't know what
So does Dan's man.
If it ain't couscous, I don't like it.
I get canceled as a southerner for this, and as somebody who lives in the country. But I don't like venison. I don't really like deer meat.
I don't like deer meat, but deer sausage and deer jerky is amazing.
Deer jerky. I don't know if I've had deer sausage, but jerky I do. The deer jerky I do like. I just don't like the gamey, the sweet like gamey taste. I'm not
in a sausage though, with all the spice and then the pork mixture, right? That's where you get it. That's where it becomes like you don't really taste the gaminess. So summer sausage, already kind of has that kind of spicy, gamey, pickled, taste to it or whatever. But
oh gosh.
But with a deer, it just kind of adds a little bit more flavor to it than like a regular, summer sausage. But and the deer jerky too kind of gives you that without the sugar. You normally like in a beef jerky, they have to add a bunch of sugars to it to get it to do.
Kieran, well, what cities are you in, or whereabouts in the States are you guys?
I'm in Atlanta right now, but I'm from Missouri.
Yeah, where are you, Kieran?
So I'm in Virginia, in the mountains. I'm about an hour and a half to 2 hours drive from Washington D.C. from the capital.
I've been to Richmond, Virginia before, so it's one place I know.
RVA, great city. One of the most underrated cities in the country, Richmond. I love it. Yeah.
In fact, I was in Richmond when we played Manchester City in the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Nice.
My mom my stepdad, who's English. We were all out at an Airbnb in Richmond on like a little staycation type of thing. We lived in Lynchburg, which is like an hour and a half drive from Richmond. And then, but we were watching it in the Airbnb. All of us, they had a bonfire, and it was a good time.
I've been to Atlanta once. I visited Emory University once for a couple of weeks, but I got to watch an Atlanta Braves game, so that was the highlight.
There you go.
Where are you in New Zealand?
On a town called Dunedin, which is down in the south of New Zealand.
Yeah. I played rugby in high school. One of my coaches was a Kiwi, so I know a little bit about New Zealand. I've always wanted to visit. It seems like an awesome country. So.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's I don't know what I can say about it, but it's a long way away from everywhere. We're even a 3-hour flight from Australia. Just to get from New Zealand to Australia is 3 hours.
Sorry,
but with your weather, your nature, like, why would you want to go anywhere else? I don't know. It seems like an island paradise.
If my crypto hits hard, I'm gonna move and retire to New Zealand because the U.S. dollar is almost like 2 to 1.
You can't buy land there anymore, though. Well, foreigners
aren't allowed.
Land. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
If I have $1 million, that's $2 million in New Zealand.
Yeah. Yes. Well,
it's
5 million
1 o'clock
people.
in the morning here. So
only 5 million people there.
What time is it where you are, Jay?
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
3 minutes.
It's 5 in the morning here, so
5. I thought you said
it's 5 here.
Yeah,
it's 5 in the morning here.
It's
But,
what is it? What is it, Alex?
5 in the morning.
Yes.
No, you
Hey,
have to say
do you not
stay.
sleep, man? Like, don't
No,
you have
I
school?
live off steak.
Don't you have school or work or something?
No.
Steak University, or go down to the
That's
butcher.
every day. Steak.
Yeah.
It's been emotional, and I feel a lot better for getting that off my chest.
Oh,
Take it
Brian,
easy,
it's
guys.
sicker now.
Big up,
You
Jason.
got sick.
Well, guys, I
on,
might
Jason.
sign off now. It's
All right.
I've got to start cooking dinner here. It's 5 in the afternoon on Monday.
Cooking
So
steak.
Cooking
yeah, I'm
couscous.
getting hungry hearing all this. So. Thanks for letting me join. I'll try and get on
anytime, man.
again.
Yeah. Anytime.
Yeah, Brian, you
Say
look tired. I think you
just,
better have a break, my friend.
Oh, right. I believe me. I guess this time where I do start cracking up.
Yeah.
Go,
It's about time
guys.
we get-
See you, Karen. See you, Will.
Take care, Roz.
Bye.
Later, buddy.
See you,
See you
Rex.
later, buddy.
See ya.
All right, final things that we're gonna get out of here. Announcements. For me on this channel, I will be out of town starting Wednesday, so we're probably not gonna have shows Wednesday. Like I won't be back until after the Liverpool game, so that's
Do you
I'm
want me
gonna
to
miss.
take over?
I'm gonna miss like 4 games, aren't I?
Steak over. Steak over.
Yeah, me and Brian take over your show.
Yeah, we were something like that.
Yeah, just
But,
a little bit.
and then maybe I can just call in for my own show. But that's what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna be at a tournament doing some business stuff, like that. So, I could say that I'm gonna try to do it, but I can tell you right now I'm not gonna be able to because of the way the schedule works. I have to basically take care of 10 different people that are coming from overseas. So, ain't happening. But we'll be back. I'll be back on November the 6th. So,
It will be steak.
So you're not streaming for
Dietrich.
couscous?
Curry.
Couscous.
Curry.
When you're we are on TV, do that.
Couscous.
Steak. Curry.
Where are the steaks? I want the steaks.
All right, I'm into this damn show.
I need to go back to my mental health unit.
People at home, stay strong.
I love Alex. I actually love his
Stay Spurs.
And as
Stay
always,
steaky.
leave you out.
Leave you
Stay
out.
steaky.
Stay steaky. Stay.
Steak
Kane,
first.
stay Kane Stan. We'll see you next time.